Welcome, horrible people, to the Horrible Opinions podcast. As always, I'm your horrible host, Kenny.
I'm your favorite streamer, Daniel.
I'm finger in the nose, Ryan.
Oh, and we're going to get down and dirty with it. We're going to touch that bathwater today. We're going to get right into the Deadstream.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Womp, womp, womp.
You ever been peed on before? You ever been waterboarded before?
I mean, a golden shower?
Does it count if it's on purpose?
These are the questions we're going to answer.
I feel like it has to happen on accident once, and then you're like, I like it. Okay, horrible followers. We are talking about Deadstream 2022, a Shudder exclusive. Which one of you boys wants to hit me with that synopsis?
I got it.
Okay, get it.
Dank.
Okay. A canceled streamer attempts to reclaim his audience by live streaming himself staying the night in a supposedly haunted house.
Yeah, solid setup, right?
Daniel, I'm proud of you. That was the most succinct synopsis, an accurate synopsis I think you've ever done.
That's good.
And I didn't even write that
He wrote it
down.
off of IMDb, didn't he?
Nope.
Oh, that's pretty close to what they wrote, so you're a professional now.
Yeah. You should get paid
You
for
know
that
what?
shit.
Let's redo it. It's too good.
It's too good.
It's too good.
I need you to stutter. I need you to talk about other things.
New year, new synopsis.
We're all
style.
over it.
Ah,
We're
shit.
all over it.
I love it.
So as always, before we do one of these movies, I always think, hey, will I like this? Will they like it? I thought for sure you guys were gonna love this movie because, well, I didn't know if I was gonna like it, but at this point I've watched it like 5 times. Did you guys like it?
Yeah.
Yes, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good movie, right?
End the show.
Yeah, it's good. Good episode, everybody.
We liked it. Good episode.
IMDb gave it a 6.5.
IMDb has been given a lot of things 6.5.
In the 6 range, which is high for...
I think it should be higher.
I think I'd agree on this one.
I 100% agree. I'm actually surprised, though, that IMDb gave it something so high, because I feel like I can understand they like things like, well, the innocent...
This isn't really IMDb's
Right, like, they
genre.
like the innocence, they like the hatching, things that are so clever, so, I don't know. Yeah,
more
like
highbrow.
Art. A lot of horror like this, that's, look, that's their saying it's art, not me. Like, this kind of stuff, like the down, dirty, like, fun, gritty, rough and tumble stuff, like, it isn't always reviewed as favorably. So the fact that I see this and it gets a 6.5, that tells me it had to hit an audience and, like, just hit it hard. But I think it could still be higher. I think there's still those fuddy-duddies that are bringing it back down because they don't know how to have fun.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Look, get it out of the way. Look, I love this movie. In fact, take a shot every time one of us says, I love this movie.
I agree with that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no?
Well, okay. Yeah. We got our,
okay. I'll start this off.
Oh, cool.
Kenny. Would we all... You've had the most condescending shit I've ever heard.
Oh, cool. Cool what? He hadn't said what we're doing yet.
No, he's talking.
It is cool. It is
dank.
cool. Yeah, it's cool.
No, it's
when I
cool because
talk.
he's asking a question that I wrote, so it's cool.
I'm asking
No.
a question. So
No,
shut
I
the
didn't.
fuck
I don't
up.
know anymore. Where am I?
No, he's at...
This is a question you wrote. Would we all die or survive in this movie?
So we would either...
No. Y or N, dog. Y or N.
I think you fucked it up, dog.
I don't think
I think
did.
it was which of us would survive this movie.
That's not what I wrote down, though.
Because my answer is either we all die or we all survive.
Oh, okay.
And the reason being is either we just fucking leave early on because we're like, no,
Sure.
we're not idiots.
Ghosties.
Yeah.
Ghosties,
or
spookies,
we
yeah.
don't, and then we die because none of us are cutting off limbs. We're not going the extra step to survive at the end. We just fucking die. If we stay, we're dead. We don't have it in us to survive that. We're not worried
Okay.
about the sponsors. We're not worried about the ad money. We have no.
We have no
we're-
audience, so really we wouldn't
No, I
be
think
there
we
to begin
would
with.
be there. I think we absolutely would. Like, hey, let's go record an episode in the haunted house. It's 100%
That
a
would be fun.
situation I could see us get put in.
You know what would be fun? Recording an episode together.
Well, if someone can get their ass out of China.
Get your ass to Mars.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Yeah. So yeah, no, either we get in there and we nope the fuck out. Or if we don't nope the fuck out, we're just dead. We're not getting through it. Like I said, we don't have we're all babies. Okay?
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I died.
Ryan definitely dies. Ryan once heard a noise in our apartment while we were watching a movie and proceeded to try to alert me about it. And instead of slapping my leg, he sack tapped me. So I'm curled up in a ball. Now we're both going to die because Ryan heard a noise.
It was a scary noise.
So,
It could have been a door shutting.
I'm the boy who lived.
Daniel, you're not. I'm sorry to
okay.
say this. I've been camping with you.
Okay.
You're not.
we'll probably be like, Daniel, go check that out.
You're the one who screams and
Yeah.
alerts even the ghost to our presence. You're the one who makes a lot of noise.
Spiders!
And I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be scared, but I'm also gonna be trying to say that none of this is real, and so they're gonna make a point of taking me out because I don't believe in it.
Well, if you don't believe in it, they got no power.
I can't decide if I would be like we'll spoil a few things here. You know, the little thing in the closet on the wall, that's nailed there as a the charm. I can't decide if in the moment I would be like, well, I ain't touching any weird shit like that, or if I'd be like, ooh, let me see this weird shit.
I don't think any one of us would have broken that.
No,
I don't think so either. But also,
I don't think we wouldn't have taken it off the wall.
but also, how much weird shit have I brought back into our house?
That is a good point. You would be in there looking for fucking souvenirs to bring home that I would then later have to chuck into the lake because they're haunted.
Well, now your lake is haunted.
That's what I said. We're gonna have ghost fish.
God.
That's yeah.
I don't know if that helps. Daniel, you ready, Daniel?
I'm ready.
All right, because I'm gonna let Kenny ask his question. Go ahead.
No, I was asking you, dog.
Oh, what's up?
So, based on the title, what
about Daniel?
What about Daniel?
Deadstream.
Based on the title, what about Daniel? Based on the title, Deadstream, what food would you pair with this movie?
Sushi.
Because of the stream?
Sushi.
Because fish?
You got dead,
fish,
stream.
dead.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fish.
after having watched it, what food?
Finger sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nibble on some finger sandwiches.
Yeah. No, good. That's great. This is fun. People are going to love this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spaghetti. I can see spaghetti. But okay, now Daniel, here we go. I know you've been wanting to talk about this.
Yeah.
All right. So, based on your pre-watch question, what do you think this movie will be saying about our world?
So, I thought that it would be a meta commentary about the toxicity of parasocial relationships between a streamer and his chat. And you know what?
Holy shit.
I was right.
Ryan, here's what I'm going to tell you now, and I knew this the entire time. Daniel was going to be the one who was most in touch with this movie. He's the one who operates closest to that world. He has a lot of time on his hand to watch people on YouTube. Not necessarily these kind of streamers, but it's stuff adjacent to this. So he's gonna be more in touch with this kind of.
This is 100%. This style is 100% not my thing because it's fucking annoying and it sucks.
But he's
Right.
Yeah.
Like his whole shtick, his opening video with the quick cuts and the zooms and the low attention span ADHD style editing. I can't fucking
but my
stand.
kids eat it up. But
Oh,
Daniel has
no.
enough stuff that's adjacent to he knows that YouTube world. He's in he's in one.
Yeah.
So I was
cool.
waiting for your perspective on this whole thing because I figured you could also look at it. You watch some of those like GTA Online like role play type things or the Red Dead ones.
Yeah.
Well, since this isn't an avatar, but we're doing that thing where he's got the camera on his back and stuff, and it kind of follows him around almost as if he was an avatar.
And I would say he is role playing.
Well,
Yeah.
is that you dropping?
That's me dropping a hint about what I think this movie is.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. For this movie, it's absolutely poking fun at that streamer viewer world, right?
And they so
nailed
fucking
Yeah.
well.
But I hadn't considered that it was also critiquing it.
It's kind of like the Scream of the YouTuber. You know, he does it so well that you don't even realize it's a parody of all the shit it's doing, but it is.
Like the chat, that's not even a parody. That's legit. The chats are like that. You got people just saying shit to say shit.
Sure.
You got people marketing their own
As soon
shit.
as the lady
Yeah.
comes on there.
As soon as the lady comes on,
A
they're like,
lady.
oh!
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's bad, it's
Yeah.
toxic, but the way he interacts with it is so good. The guy, I keep saying his name's Joseph Winter. I'm going to point out this movie is written and directed by a husband-wife team, Joseph and Vanessa Winter.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll touch anything these guys do, and Joseph Winter plays our pretty much our focal point, our only real character. We'll get one later, but only real character throughout
Sean.
the movie, Sean Ruddy, that's a cool name too.
It's a nice name.
Sean Ruddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a
Wrath of Sean.
Wrath of Sean. They have a segment in VHS 99 that it was on my to-do list to go watch VHS 99 at some point anyway, but now I'm super excited to go see it. The segment's called To Hell and Back, and I'm pumped. I want to see what this couple does. Like, I'm here for anything they do now because of this movie. I loved it that much.
Okay, so I got a question off the bat that either for both of you then. So Sean Ruddy is scared of everything, and his entire internet show is him doing the things that scare him. Does this person exist?
Like someone who's like, is there an actual YouTuber that's running out facing their fears like this exact show,
Or who portrays himself as just this level of, I don't know how you function in a society if you have these many fears about everything.
Well, a lot of them,
if those fears, if they're real, if you really have those fears.
But a lot of those fears that he's like showing the videos of, they're like not shit you would randomly encounter, like the baby Moses one where he's thrown in a basket, shoved down a river.
Baby Moses.
Yeah, or
we got human trash, human popsicle, baby Moses smuggled across the border,
I took him
running from cops.
as more of like if the guys from Jackass were strangers.
kind of, yeah. I mean,
but we're also scared of spiders.
because look, we like seeing YouTubers get scared. I mean, wasn't that kind of one of PewDiePie's early shticks? Was he would play horror games and he would scream and people loved it.
Yeah,
that annoys the shit out of me.
I don't.
Yeah.
Pardon my ignorance and stuff. I don't know how Mr. Beast became what he is to this day. I don't know what his early shtick was, but I know he's probably the biggest in the game right now.
Yeah.
Just, everyone else is kind of taking step backs, but yeah, they like to see people reacting with fear. Okay, some of his fears, yeah, like we talked about, like, okay, like, yeah, being around a cop will sometimes make you nervous.
So sure, I guess it's just once we get to the house, is this a shtick that he's doing? Or does he legitimately have these fears? Because he's like, ew, spider webs, and he takes out the insect, repellent and starts spraying it.
I don't think he can get as big as he did and face as many of his so-called fears, like his biggest fears as he has, and get to this point and still have anything really affect him.
He is wearing a persona for the viewers.
And it cracks.
I would say that, except the persona never, I don't know. Well, at some point, I'm like, if you were really scared, you wouldn't go back to the
persona
house, but
never cracks.
Well, no, what part of his persona cracks?
No.
No, fuck you. I never wanted to apologize. The only thing I'm sorry for is for apologizing.
Oh, okay, that's
Okay.
fair. That kind of pokes the hole.
No,
on my
I
feelings.
love the fact that you say like he wouldn't go back in the house because he's too scared, but I'm gonna put this right there with Justin Long's character in Barbarian. All about the money. He's down there measuring the square footage. Sean made a deal with his new partners. If he doesn't stay in there and does what he said he was going to do, they're pulling his sponsorship. It's
possibly.
And the chat brings it up. Like, think about the sponsors. Oh, fuck the sponsors.
All right, let's get into it. Sean, he's got Wrath of Sean, his little internet show. He has been previously suspended for 6 months for a video stunt gone wrong that got him into trouble, and he doesn't say what it is.
We find out later.
But then he hits us with the apology video, and he says, I'm all good now. Here's what we're gonna do. I got my salt, I got my holy water, I got my crucifix, I got my silver dagger. My mommy's made me a PBJ.
We're going to a haunted house. He says it's the last fear that he hasn't done yet. Would you guys watch this channel? I think we've established probably not, but
Nope.
Would you watch this episode?
I would watch this episode with other people. If I was just by myself, I don't think I would.
I would
that would just be for a group experience.
About the production of this episode.
Like, I like haunted houses and stuff, and if this guy was big enough, his new episodes would probably come across my radar. Like, I hear about some of these YouTubers, what their upcoming stuff is. I was like, oh, okay, whatever, I don't care.
And if he did commentary on this, I would listen to that as well.
Yeah. I would potentially watch it. I don't know if I'd watch it live. but I'd be curious.
Assuming
like, oh,
he is not his actual character.
right, like he breaks the.
Assuming he
gets
is
to do
playing
the-
a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, could you imagine him just commenting with, "Oh,
Yeah,
this is
that I wouldn't listen to, but if he was like an actor, I would listen to that.
Also,
It turns out his voice is really deep. It's gravelly.
I think we're pretty quick into this introducing what his video is going to be. Daniel, did you see any cool
No,
shirts
I didn't
here?
write anything down.
I had a cool shirt note that I was waiting for you to bring up, so you've let
That's
me down
my bad.
here. Because he had some cool shirts, and there was a Slappy doll in the background there
Ooh.
in his room. Well, it looked like a Slappy doll. It was loaded with energy drink cans because that's his new sponsor, which I thought was kind of funny. And yeah, at this point, he nails that obnoxious YouTuber character. So this setup, like it's believable. Like that's the point. Like this could be a thing.
All right, for 5 points each, name one movie that this movie is, we'll say, inspired by.
Oh, Evil Dead.
Okay, all right, 5 points for Kenny, Evil Dead.
Can I
Daniel,
name
you got a
a
movie?
game? The
Yep.
Resident Evil 7 demo?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 points.
PT?
Kenny, would you like? Oh,
Yeah,
there he
PT 's
goes.
good.
Daniel's pulling away.
Oh,
Kenny, what else you got?
I mean, I don't know. I said it was going to be part of a Shudder trilogy with Host and the Cleansing Hour because I like the live aspect of it. Do you
I don't
recall
know
those
what either-
movies?
I don't know what either of those are.
Daniel, you watch Host with me. It's when they have a seance over a Zoom
Oh
chat.
yeah, that's a good movie.
And then the Cleansing Hour, I think we actually watched with your mom where they do the seance on a live feed.
That's another good movie.
Or not
Those
the
are like
seance,
the same
they-
movie.
they do
no,
the,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Exorcism.
So
Exorcism.
those are both Shudder exclusives. So I said this completed my Shudder trilogy.
Yes. I have no thoughts to
All right.
add other than I agree.
You both have 10 points. Come on, keep coming. What you
Can I
got?
throw out the sequels
What
to
you got?
Evil Dead?
Nope. It's all Sam Raimi. That's all counting as
Yeah,
one.
Sam Raimi.
Spider-Man.
What else you got?
Uh,
What else you got?
Oh shit.
I just said PT
come on, what's-
and RE7.
Yeah, he
Come on,
went
what's
to games.
there's some obvious ones.
Oh god, you put me on
Oh,
the spot. now.
I can do another game.
Brain's not working.
Phasmophobia.
Phasmo, yeah.
Yep.
Ghost hunting
Yep,
stuff.
there you go. 15. Daniel's at 15. Oh, he's pulling away.
He switched to video games, though. That's cheating.
No,
I don't know,
I
man.
never did movies.
Yeah, he never did movies.
I made a list of references on mine. I got video games on my list of references too. Keep going. What else you got? Come on, baby.
Well, it's
Daniel, you can say some more, Daniel.
I don't have any more written down.
First come, first serve.
It's
Come on.
also like Detectives.
I don't know what that. You
I
could
don't
just
know
be
that
making
one.
shit up.
Nah, it's another Shudder one where they have one of those ghost paranormal shows. And it turns out they have to save their show, so they go to a haunted house in Mexico, and it turns out the ghosts are
I
real
think
there.
I've seen that.
It's really good.
Oh, cool.
That again with that fucking condescending
Cool.
cool.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
That's
I don't.
cool.
I've never.
You say condescending. I say that's my voice.
You bitch.
Yeah,
yeah, bitch.
you bitch.
I'm gonna be condescending now. What else you got? Come on.
Look,
come on,
he
come on.
took time and wrote a big list, and he's trying to make us feel dumb, Daniel.
I'm saying what you got that matches my list. Come on.
Did I do?
What you got?
Did I
What you
do
got?
Well, how many-
recommendations? Did I write anything down?
Do
You
we?
got 10 more seconds before I'm gonna steal this, and you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, I should have said that."
I should.
Here we go.
Oh, I did
Ready?
say.
Ready?
Really makes me want to play RE7 in VR again.
Well,
There you go.
I didn't
Yep.
say RE7. The RE7.
You said the trailer,
demo.
the demo. Yeah.
He said the demo.
I mean, it reminded me of Hell House. Or no, not Hell House. They did two of them. Fuck. Not Hell House. Hell House was good though. Those movies were good. Grave Encounters. It reminded me.
Yep. Okay.
Grave Encounters series.
All right. Daniel, you're losing now.
No,
Kenny's
I'm
at 20.
done. I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I've peaked.
Okay.
Yes.
Blair Witch Project, Paranormal Activity, Halloween soundtrack.
The soundtrack of this was so good.
I didn't realize. I mean,
You went, yeah. I mean, and there's also they're also pulling from a Blair Witch book called The Confessions of Rustin
Really?
Parr.
I didn't read that
A little bit.
because
Okay, yeah. So it's all about him like giving some kind of confession before he's executed, and he basically blaming what happens on two other kids.
but the
And
fact
the
that
spirit.
it's pulling from all these things adds fuel to
I-
my secret.
I don't know if it's intentionally pulling from the book one, but the movies, absolutely. Right.
those are the vibes you got.
I mean, because once we get to the house, we get the shaky cam text on the screen in October of
Here's a
2022.
question. Is he left-handed or right-handed?
I didn't notice.
You think he cut the finger off his not
Well,
dominant
that's what
hand?
I want to figure out because when he throws the spark plugs, he throws it with his left hand.
Maybe he's ambidextrous.
That's his dominant hand. That's the one he cut.
And when he pulls the shit off the door to get in, he pulls it with his right hand.
He's ambidextrous.
But I don't know. See, I go both ways on this because
I can't wait to find out how this matters.
Yeah,
it matters.
But I'm here for
it does matter.
But also, did
Okay.
you guys like the music in this movie?
Yeah.
I mean, I love his
It's
Sean Carpenter's
Sean
Halloween.
Carpenter.
It's-
Yeah, so you like how he credits himself.
And what I like, this is a brilliant way of getting music into your found footage movie.
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. And you like how he, credited himself there, kind of like, hey, Sean Carpenter thing there.
I mean, I know what he's doing, so yeah.
Joseph Winter did the music for this movie as well. Dude,
Does he have any soundtracks?
Dude is talented AF. Like on other things. Let's see.
I don't know. I mean, you know how like John Carpenter has his Lost Themes album, so I'll listen to some riffs from
this stuff would have fit right
from our boy Joseph
right in with that.
Oh yeah, I'd listen to this all day.
Yeah, no, I liked it quite a bit. He's had some shorts and stuff. They've been making stuff since like the late right before like 2008, 2009 is when he has some shorts popping up on his thing. So I don't think he's had anything big. Like they haven't done anything big until this movie. This is their first feature-length movie that they've done together.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he had a shitload of stuff out on SoundCloud or something like that. I haven't dug that far into it. But what I'm saying is his shit, though.
We can get the soundtrack to this movie.
I would hope, because he's the composer for this, the VHS 99 segment, and 2 of the shorts. So he's got a couple things out there. And it's just, it was fantastic. It was good. Like, I want to see more from these people. I think him and his wife are, just from this movie alone, unless it's a one-hit wonder, I think they're obscenely talented. Once I've seen how much further their fingers were in this whole project, like, that made me happy, because I'm like, no, because, look, that guy, as an actor, too, he has to carry this whole movie by himself, and he is believable as this obnoxious YouTuber, and it is fantastic. I hated him, but I loved him, and I wanted him to live, but I wanted him to die. And every time he got himself out of a situation in a hilarious manner, I was like, oh, yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. And whenever he suffered, I loved it because it was hilarious, which is 100% that Bruce Campbell energy once we get to Evil Dead 2 and all that, where you love him, but God, is it hilarious to see him get the shit kicked out of him.
The movie goes out of its way to point out all of the hardware and technology tricks that he's going to be using to give us different camera angles and switching views and all that stuff. Generally in this kind of movie, do you want to see the movie do that? Do you care?
In this kind of movie, I love it. Because we're supposed to be like, we're watching the stream with the fans, like, of his. Mm-hmm. So he's showing us, hey, this is part of it. I'm setting it up. You guys are seeing it. If we had got there and there are already cameras set up, that would kind of take away from the realism of it. But if we want to give more hints towards what I think Daniel's thinking, and that the whole thing is a setup, then you could argue that, boy, he already knew all the best spots to put those cameras. Although, he did have a shitty hand-drawn map of the layout of the house. The house is semi-famous. Yeah. So he probably
Mana.
Yeah, he probably already knew where he wanted some of those things. But what do you guys think of the selfie cam, like, mount thing?
I thought it was a good way to have a steady cam.
Yeah.
And so you weren't getting the Blair Witch nausea that some people experienced.
Yeah, that's one of the things I don't love about the Blair Witch.
Like, I get car sick, and surprisingly, Blair Witch, that doesn't bother me.
And it's important to get his reactions to everything happening.
Yes.
It's important for what because that is what his channel is, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I like it. At first, I thought it was really, really big. I thought it was a little unwieldy, but then we get some other shots on it, and it is pretty tight, but I still think there's no way running around and stuff, you don't clip that on the fucking doorway and, like, bust it off.
Yeah. I mean, I hit my shoulder through the doorway. It's just me.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that would be a problem,
but
if you hadn't rehearsed moving through a space.
I'm trying to give you some cannon fodder there. Look,
I like this take, Daniel.
But I also don't agree, because it's more fun if I don't.
I think it's okay. My take is more fun, but it is more fun if you disagree.
But also, okay, so yeah, we're going to the house. He's doing all his setup. Also, he has a lot of lines in this that I love. Like, I've had the nervous poops all week. I enjoyed that little touch. But he pulls up to the house, he pops the hood, and he says, I have to make sure I can't leave. So he takes the spark plugs out of his car and fucking chucks them into the woods.
With his left hand.
With his left hand, apparently.
We're doing, like, the left-hand path? Is that where we're going, Daniel?
No.
Left-hand path.
Oh no.
I'm just trying to
Crowley.
figure out which is his dominant hand.
He'll explain to us the dullards later. And Ryan's over there. He wants to know. You're gonna have to wait.
But I googled because he's also wearing a watch on his left hand.
Right,
your watch is normally on your non-dominant hand.
But is the footage reversed? Does he have it flipping to where we're seeing what's literally if we're looking at him, or is it just the standard camera footage where it's verse, like how you can't read my shirt right now?
I can read your shirt.
I can read your shirt.
Really? It's showing back to me where I can't read it.
Well, you might.
Oh, for us, it's proper.
Oh, well,
I can't read my shirt.
I can read your shirt.
That's magic.
Damn.
Really? Like, I'm looking at my camera, and I'm like, so that's what is my?
Yeah,
I can't read my shirt.
I can read your shirt.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Weird.
You know what? Because the computer is not our brain. If it was yeah. You know how our brains flip the image?
You might know that. I don't know that. I didn't go to college.
I don't know what your brain does. Anyway.
Oh, we'll talk about it later. Yeah, pulls up to Death Manor, built in 1880 by a pioneer for his outcast daughter, the wannabe poet Mildred Pratt.
Her poetry sucks.
Okay, tell me what happened to sweet, sweet Mildred.
Her poetry sucked. She found a man who actually liked her. Oh, yeah, we get there. Or do you want to not talk? She finds a man who actually likes her.
Provide all the lore of the ghost. Provide ghost lore now. Go.
I didn't write all that down.
Ghost lore now. Go.
She finds a man.
Start with Mildred.
She finds a man that actually likes her because she's like she's a little freak that her dad builds her little freak house. And I think they're gonna get together, and then he dies.
Yeah.
And then she's so sad because that was the only person that could like a little freak who writes bad poetry like her. So then she hangs herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
She hangs herself in the house, and the house at this point looks to me like very similar to the Blair Witch house.
There's a house in the Blair Witch.
Yeah.
What?
That was this little shitty cabin.
That's a house.
Sorry. That's a one-room little.
It had a basement.
It had a basement. It had 2 stories.
Wait. Can we count basement square footage if it's not finished?
Barbarian would say yes.
You gotta if you can list it, you can report it.
We got there.
And depending on the state, you have to report whether or not it's haunted.
That should be for every state.
Is that real?
I said it, so
I feel like if you're in
challenge him.
If you're in the New England area, you should probably have to report if you have any ghosts.
Yeah, because it's older there, so they'd be older ghosts.
Yeah.
And so they'd be grumpier.
Well, I guess you should report if there's not ghosts, because that would just be quicker.
What?
11 people have died in Death Manor. We've got some suicides. We got some just random deaths of kids, deaths of adults.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry, I was still chastising myself for not writing that all down. But where I was going with the house thing is, what does it take to be a manor?
I think your
of the
father
plot
has
of
to
the
be
land.
a lord.
Size of the plot of the land,
Oh, really?
I feel. Don't challenge me on that.
That's a good
I see his little fingers going to work over there.
I think you can just call it a manor if you want.
It's a large country house with lands. The principal house of a landed estate.
Lands!
Feudal lords.
So, all right. Question then. If I get a large enough trailer house and just drive it to a large plot of land, is it a manor?
If you make it the main house on that plot of land, if you get some, make it a double wide.
It's the only, it's the only thing there.
Get some smaller ones on the plot, like single wides, and then for sure, I think that stands. That's a manor.
We're creating our own fiefdom at this point.
Damn right. I wish I took more notes on the backstory of the ghosts. I was more looking into at this point, obviously the ghost stuff is important for our listeners. I was wondering of the cost of all his equipment, because he had these little cameras. Oh, first off, his setup is very, very fucking good. He's got this tablet that's instantly syncing up with these little cameras. Like, he's putting them up, he's popping them on. It's just like in Phasmophobia, the game that we all enjoy, where you set up a camera and it's immediately linked with the truck. So he's got these things. He pops it up. It's right there on the thing. He's able to switch back and forth between his cameras. Oh, God, what was the gesture he said he could do to switch between his front-facing
It's on his wrist.
Yeah, he's got a smart watch type thing that if he shakes his wrist, it switches which camera on him you're viewing. And I'm like, this is all very, very high tech. Like, a nice little setup. I'm wondering how he has that good of signal, for one. Like, what he's using for his wireless network.
You would acquire a good signal if you had done the prep work beforehand to get the
what?
stuff laid down to enable that.
All your talk about how good his technology is and how I had not even considered any of that. And now that you're saying it, I'm going, wait, how? Oh, the equipment, I can say if he had enough following and enough sponsors, could get that shit. The signal for being out in the woods, then you're streaming it. I mean, that one.
So
okay.
Here's how I'm going to keep helping Daniel sing. I think I might be getting on board. When he
Yeah,
puts the
okay.
padlock on, they have the camera zooming in on it. That is 100% a fake cobweb. Now, that could have been...
So the shittiness of the effects, not that the effects are shitty, but as the movie progresses, like the makeup and the effects on the monsters and whatnot get progressively worse.
I don't know that I noticed that, but I'll rewatch again to see, because
It's almost as if, due to time restraints, the actors were rushing to get into proper wardrobe and makeup to get into position for filming.
Yes.
Okay.
Could also be that the actual movie
yes, 100%.
had to use its budget.
100%.
But we can make it that. Oh, yeah, we could. Yes.
I'm just saying the actual movie, I don't think it would zoom in. Like, I don't think they would have put, much like Were Deer left the realtor lock on the front of the house, where I said, like, you shouldn't do that shot.
Right, this movie is too high of a quality to not notice that,
That, we all know what Halloween, like, cobwebs look like. And when it was zoomed in that close on showing the lock, they wouldn't have had the cobweb there because it would have looked too fake.
You just wouldn't have had cobwebs.
Yeah, you just wouldn't have had cobwebs. So I'm like, okay, I'm biting more and more on this being.
I'm liking it.
Yeah.
I'm liking this.
I can go down with that. I can fuck with that.
Okay, I got a question. So I want to make sure that I'm right on this, because he says he doesn't like to watch horror scary movies, right?
Uh-huh.
And that the last one he saw was the first part of Ghost Dad.
Yeah, with Bill Cosby.
Okay, but then he makes he references stuff that happened in The Ring. He references scary kids movies. He references things that are other scary movies. So my question was, if he didn't like scary movies, then why is he referencing things that happened in scary movies?
I mean,
how is he aware of it? Is this just the general
the zeitgeist
stuff from cultural osmosis?
Yeah.
But also, he could have just said the Ghost Dad thing because it was funny. Because he's a character.
We do often even hear sometimes say things just to say things. And
yes.
So, yeah, I could get that either way, just playing the devil's advocate there. Or, yeah, he could be a fucking liar. And he's seen those things. He's seen all those things. Yeah. Shit. I mean, shoot. Don't demonetize me.
Don't do it. Let's see. He goes in. What does he find? He finds spoons. Once he gets in, he bike locks himself in.
Yep.
Then he takes the key and he throws it into a
floor vent under a rug.
Yeah. And then he goes looking around and he finds some spoons and needles. He's like, ew. Which at that point, so this is kind of similar to what we discussed in
My Best Friend's Exorcism.
My Best Friend's Exorcism. Yes. Where if you come into a place and you start seeing evidence of other people being there, and in this case, people like shooting up heroin,
I'm gone.
Do you not just go? Like,
that gets me out of there quicker than spooky shit.
Right. That's just real.
Because
that's not a ghost.
Look, all the years that Ben and I lived together, we had this rule that we established, where if any freaky shit happened, we know that we potentially also have superpowers.
Yes, I think all of us might have had this conversation with each other.
So
it might have been caused by a movie we watched. What was that movie called? I think
one of the Boogeyman sequels, actually.
Yes. Whereas we decide, go ahead.
Yeah, that's like Boogeyman 2 or 3. But yeah, if we walk into that and spooky shit's happening, we also have powers and we're going to deal with it. But if I walk into a room and I see used like drug paraphernalia, I know I also didn't use drugs, so I don't have drug powers. So that hobo is going to fucking take me out. So I'm just going to leave.
That's very judgmental against hobos.
Hobos like drugs.
I think everybody likes drugs.
Probably. Guys, we still need to do more drugs.
And everyone likes playing those spoon songs.
Oh my god, let's start a jug band.
Whack them together.
Let's hop on the back of a train.
That's a good kind of hobo. We don't have hobos like that anymore.
Guys, this is why you always carry duct tape.
Duct tape.
I wrote.
Pro tip.
Yeah.
Duct tape. Your dad would love this guy.
Yeah. Walrus would love this guy.
Yeah.
Except for this
duct tape
fucking annoyingness, but
yeah. Oh god. So, and this is where we start really getting some more interactions with his chat. And another line that I absolutely love. I'm gonna do this a lot. There's gonna be lines I love where he's talking, and one of the person says, "You're nuts," and he goes, "Yeah. What about him?" Ha! I was like, "That's great." And then someone says, and he repeats it with the typos. He says, haunted houses have been overdone. How can haunted houses be overdone if I haven't done one before? And I'm like, I'm loving this dialogue with the chat. It is so
Can I tell
good.
you a personal thing whenever I'm watching a thing? I hate, and this is going to sound like backwards, any interaction with chat.
Like in real life or in the movie? Like when you're watching your chat people, you hate when they actually
100%.
So like you want
I don't think chat should exist.
Well, what?
That's a weird take considering all the content you like.
Well, it's specifically because a lot of the GTA RP chat is toxic as hell.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Sure.
Yeah, but don't interact with the toxic people.
You don't engage with that. I don't know. I mean, I can kind of I hear what I think I hear where you're coming from, Daniel, and that the interaction with the chat that really in most cases doesn't add any value.
It adds nothing to me.
What you're already watching. Right.
And
that's why you need to get on the chat.
It in fact subtracts value because it'll be so toxic that like certain storylines won't be pursued because of chat being shitty about it.
I mean, that's fair.
Well, then you need to you get on the chat then and you say, no, I like this. We should do this. And you do it positive, and then maybe you get what you want.
Sure, but negativity always, your eye is always drawn to it.
Look, Daniel's being negative right now, and he's trying to take it over. You could be a force for good, Danime.
Be a force for good,
I'm being
Daniel.
negative against negativity.
And that's still negative.
Nazis are bad. Am I bad for saying that Nazis are bad?
In this day and age, maybe. This is not a political podcast.
It could be.
It could be. I mean, we came out pretty hard against the politics of typhoons on one podcast. So
I thought it was your Reagan
Did I black this out? I don't remember this at all.
I remember you being anti-Reagan or pro-Reagan or something.
You did. I believe that was cut from the episode.
The Reagan time, because it was
only the 70s Reagan, though, not the 80s Reagan.
Not the 80s Reagan.
The 70s Reagan is what we were against. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I referred to, well, anyway, a good time for horror because you're a bit repressive.
Because of the repressive. Yeah. Oppressive.
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 It was impressively oppressive. Where have we gone, boys?
So some of the cool ghosts in this is, so once he starts putting the duct tape is to help secure the cameras up on the wall.
When they're not sticking
so we
good.
Can get different, so we can get some different room shots. And then he starts talking about how one of the people who died in here is Max Lowland, who said he saw a tall, and we see a pic. So here's
Man in the corner.
Man in the corner.
A credit to this movie is there are so many setups that I don't even know are setups, and then there is a payoff or it's referenced later in great ways, and this is one of them because we see a photo of Max Lowland and his wife, right, and then later that guy shows up dressed in a deputy's uniform outside, and I'm like, oh,
it's
cool.
So good. I don't think I noticed that till like my second or third watch through. I was like, that's the same mustache. That's the same guy.
Yeah.
But you know who noticed? The chat.
Yeah, the chat. Yeah, that's what the more I watch it, the more I read the chat, not just the parts he highlights, and it is fantastic. Like I recommend that. So this was one of my favorite bits in the movie, though. So he's doing the corner man bit, and he's looking at the corner man picture on the tablet, and he's looking at the corner, and he's raising the tablet up.
And you keep thinking there's going to be something there.
And he's raising it back up, and he's pulling, and it's so perfect, it's so seamless, and it's beautiful, and nothing's there at that point, but it's fantastic. And is this after the point where he brings up the other previous people who have been in the house, like paranormal investigators, where they talk about what they heard on their stuff?
Throughout, he's bringing up clips and audio from previous investigations into the house.
Okay, yeah, I've got some notes on that a little bit later. I'll bring that up then. But I do have a note already about the pond water. It's still.
The pond water is still.
Yeah. And then a note.
Also, are you still with what's her name?
Oh, yeah, no,
in the chat.
In the chat. Are you still with what's her name?
And then
see, that's that parasocial bullshit I was talking about.
But his page and stuff is one of those things that's relying upon it. Versus the RP stuff, I'm with you. I don't want any interaction with the chat on the RP stuff because that's supposed to be them RP and stuff. If it's something like this, where interaction with the chat can be useful, beneficial, more fun, playoff things. Like there are other things.
His chat is also making him stay there.
Well, they're reminding him that he had a pledge to his sponsors. So in reality, they think they're helping him because look, they don't believe any of it's real.
Oh, I think they want him to die.
Some of them definitely want him to die.
They want him to die for the content.
look,
that's brilliant.
but that's not a new concept. I mean, gladiators.
Yeah. Are you not entertained?
Yeah,
it would be different because they don't give a shit. The audience in a coliseum does not view the gladiators as people that they're interested in every facet of their life.
Would you say
they're little action figures?
Would you say Would you say the mass majority of people this day and age actually care about the people they see online as people? I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying the majority.
I would say the toxic minority.
I would say there is an alarmingly huge amount of people in this world that wouldn't give two fucks if someone died on camera. I'm not saying it's a majority, but I'm saying it's a lot more than I'm comfortable with. And the people that are going here watching him face his fears every week, some of those things are pretty dangerous.
It's like watching a Formula One race, but you're not watching to see the race. You're watching hoping to see the crash.
Which is sometimes the most interesting part of some of those races.
He really doesn't like creepy kids movies.
Creepy kids are creepy. And that's perfect. That's why we do that. You know what he also hates? He freaking hates Odd Duck Mildred and her weird poems.
We'll get there. And I think if I assume this movie is not what Daniel thinks.
Can we just say what he thinks?
I'll have an alternative way.
Okay, do you want me to? I'll just say.
Can we just get it out there? We've pretty much said it.
I think it's pretty. But go ahead, Daniel. This
movie is it's a movie within a movie. It's a live action play that's being put on by a streamer as his big debut. All the ghosts are actors. Everything's been set up beforehand. It's been meticulously rehearsed. Everything is fake.
Everything is fake.
And
okay.
My reason for thinking this is because, again, the makeup degrades the longer it goes on. And anytime like a ghost shit happens, and then there's a pause in action, it's pausing to both give the real actor, giving them time to apply makeup in one takes, right? Giving them time to apply makeup, change wardrobe, get into position, and then proceed with the next scare.
I mean,
okay, I have a question, and I can't remember because I can't remember this. Eventually, we're going to be introduced to
Chrissy.
Mm-hmm. To Chrissy. Okay, and then there's a transformation into Mildred. Once Chrissy goes to Mildred, she doesn't ever go back to Chrissy visually. Is that right?
Yes.
You're brilliant, Daniel. God damn it.
But, I mean, there are other things that would lean to it, because there's a lot of things, but this is, any movie can be guilty of this, just things that are just so fucking convenient. So it's so fucking convenient that one of his viewers has a grandma who knows about the tapa, and there's another one of his listeners literally has the lady who worked there and made is tapa. That's what it's called, right?
Topa, maybe. Topa?
Yeah, literally has the lady who made the freaking protective thing in the house on his stream. The convenience of that would again, a lot of movies are guilty of this that aren't playing this angle. So I can't say it's 100% that way, but it is something where I would give you, a little too convenient.
His behavior never changes in the movie, despite whatever ghost scare comes at him. He never shows fear. The only time it changes is when he loses internet and can no longer see the chat.
But are you saying that the loss of internet and can't see the chat thing, was that intentional, or was that like a oh shit?
I think that was an oh shit, the internet went down.
And so he's just scared because the internet's down.
Yeah. But maybe that could also be he's more afraid of no contact with his chat than of ghosts.
I mean, if I'm going to be here getting killed by ghosts and you guys aren't going to see it, if the money shot happens because the internet's down, I'd be
What's up, Ryan?
Too.
You are leaving me speechless right now, bro.
And again, all these references, the games that I named, would be things a streamer would know of, would be able to reference. The things you named, a streamer would be able to reference in setting this up.
There's a creepy clown under the bed. I saw that.
Said he had the Slappy doll earlier.
It's got red clothes with white polka dots. He puts it on a chair. Comes back later.
Yeah, I didn't go to college.
Gotta have this.
You didn't need to.
I liked his little hand drawn map of the house, of the manor.
When him and we're kind of jumping all around for my theory, but when him and Mildred, before she's like outed as being Ghost Mildred,
Chrissy,
when they go down into the basement, she literally puts on the wardrobe.
So, yes. Okay, so let's...
Do you want to just wrap? Should we just go back? Let's just bring it all back in. Let's rein it back in.
Let's reel it a little bit again. And every time, Daniel's going to stop us when he says, this is where the movie is showing you it's a thing within a thing.
Okay, so let's roll back, everybody. Let's go back to Corner Man.
Now that you know my theory, follow the rest of this conversation with that in mind.
You feel free to stop us.
Okay.
Okay, so go on.
That's Daniel's theory. My theory is this is a legit haunting, but it's also a parody critique of the online streaming community and the content creators who do it. But I'll say I think Daniel, God damn it, I think Daniel might be right.
Also, I want to point out
I'll take a different
There's
path.
a YouTuber, Germa, who has kind of done things in this vein.
Yeah, I knew he'd have more insight.
He basically, one of the things that he did was he set up like a Sims-like house where the viewer, where he was basically a sim and the viewers were controlling him.
I remember that. See, even I heard of that one.
Basically in the same vein.
I watched the Marble Racing Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, Marble Racing's good stuff. You're important too, Ryan.
That's right.
look, you had your barbarian. I have this.
Look,
yours is...
So Ryan,
I am all in.
Ryan, you're saying...
I am all in. So I'm hitting that like button. I'm clicking the subscribe bell. I'm...
Is it bad?
Where do I send my money, Daniel? What Patreon account? Where do I send all my cash?
I like money.
Tune in, find out.
So Ryan, you're saying that the movie itself is a satire on it, but you're not saying the character is in on it. You're saying he's really being haunted and shit.
Yes.
Okay, that's kind of where I've been in. I'm I like feeding into the crazy theories sometimes because Daniel's are believable, unlike yours. There's no
tunnel snakes.
There's no mama baby.
Look, there was a mutant baby that switched those keys. And you will not convence me otherwise.
I know.
The reason for God, Daniel, you're so good.
But basically, no, I'm there were a lot of convenient things, but I chalk that up as it's a movie and we gotta have that stuff happen. So I'm more
I gotta write something down.
Ryan, that he went there, he kept doing all this stupid shit and finally one of the things came back to bite him in the ass. He went to a haunted house and hey, it's actually haunted.
Sure. So he's given the tour of the house. He's putting up all his cameras. He's talking to us about the people who have died, about the corner ghost. And then he's showing us his safe room because he said this room, for some reason, has had none of the paranormal activity within it. He opens a closet on nailed into the wall is the topa. He's like, what's this? Takes the ward seal off at that point. And then he starts searching the rooms.
Breaks it.
He doesn't break it yet.
Oh, yeah. In between that,
important when he does.
Because I'm sure my notes are in order of watching the movie, so it makes sense, is when he does...
Oh, absolutely.
Well, first off, okay, he's got the hand-drawn map, which I love. It makes me think of the maps in Resident Evil.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Also, there's a safe room.
The safe room. Evil. That's what I was saying. He pulls out the laptop, and that's like the typewriter. I straight up said laptop equals typewriter, so he can save.
Oh, of course.
He walks into the kids' room, and he says... He sees a little rocking chair, and he says, what if Haley Joel Osment was just sitting here as an adult? That's worse. So, like I said, there's so many little lines in here that I just fucking love. And then he pulls up the video of another paranormal group in there, and they're trying to get the little kid to go into the kids' room. And the little kid's like, I hear something, da-da-da-da. And he's like, I do not condone the use of children in paranormal research.
That was my thought, too. That was bad parenting.
That's really... Yeah, no.
I've never used children in any of my stunts. See? I could go lower. So we're still referencing back to the thing he had to apologize for, which we still don't know yet. We kind of get a sense of it later. But, yeah. So, see, I'm better than those guys. And other people have apparently seen things in this house, too. There's a reason it's a semi-famous haunted house.
And then he tries to get the party started by doing that, spirit from another time, I touch something that was thine. Come to me, I summon thee.
Was that after spinning his wheel of stupid things? He had to do the seance?
I think.
Yeah, so...
I don't recall. Somewhere around there. And then he pees in a bucket.
Yeah, he does a lot of things. He's got to do a lot of things for the pod. There's no plumbing there. He pees in a bucket. He's got a wheel of dumb things, stupid things that he has to spin to do, and he does a seance, and he tries to talk to the thing, which is all very hammy. He makes a point of drinking an energy drink with the label out for his for his sponsor. And then that's also when he finds the clown doll. Didn't he pull out the clown doll before he does the seance?
Yeah,
because he immediately says, "I want to know the price of this clown doll."
Yes,
and so that again brought me back to Justin Long's character in Barbarian, where like all this terrifying shit could be going on, but we're just like, how am I going to get money out of this? Also, I think I have one of those dolls in the lake house somewhere. Sorry, Daniel.
It's probably in the lake by now.
It's probably in the lake by now, yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes to, okay, so when I guess we should, because there's so many setups in this movie, when he was on the ground floor, he found some rope that was attached to a bucket, which will come back later. When he's peeing into a bucket now in the safe room, and during that time, the chat is alerting him that they saw a ghost in the hallway. And he says, he calls bullshit on it, checks the footage, sees something moving through, and then he gets super scared and runs into the closet and throws a nasty-ass blanket over his head. And that was the most terrifying part to me.
That blanket was gross. The reveal of the ghost while he was pissing, like from the chat, I thought was perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's also, he's still a shitty person. Like he says he apologized, nobody believes it, but right before he does the pee thing, he's talking about this ex-girlfriend he had that had a cyst on her arm, and he broke up with her because he couldn't stop staring at the cyst, and he says, every time I remember her, the cyst keeps getting bigger and bigger in my head. And he's like, oh my god, we should look her up and we can drain her cyst on the channel. So it's like, he's still a shitty-ass person. There's no redeeming him. And then, the pee in the bucket, and then the ghost runs to the closet. Now he's hiding under the blanket, and he's still talking with the chat, which, as Daniel's saying, like, is if he was really scared, would he? But I'm going to fight back.
This time in the closet gives the lady actress time to get in position.
Right.
Get in position.
Because he's already gone to that room, so now he's away from that room, giving her time to get into that room so that she can then come out.
That's fair.
And also, he's not changing the camera angle. It's still on him. I will throw out, though, like in Blair Witch, Heather, the entire time is talking to the camera, like recording, talking, or looking through it, and that's her way of coping with the stressful situation. And so his way of coping through this stressful situation is having some kind of contact with the chat, because it focuses him a little bit on something else.
Doing that before anything stressful happens.
Right, but it could.
Well, he's stressed all the time.
He maintains it, and I think this is where I was going to push back a little, Daniel. It's like I was saying, he has been doing this for a while, enough to get really big. He's been facing his fears. So at this point, I mean, you don't get numb to it per se, but the more and more you encounter things that make you afraid, the better you get at dealing with it. Which is why I think it's important to allow your children to get scared early on with movies and stuff like that. Not super early, but I mean, it's where like when they get in a real life or death situation, they don't just freeze. Like you get that adrenaline jump and you can manage it. So I
would think there's a difference between being afraid of heights and being put up somewhere high, because heights obviously exist and everyone knows they exist, versus being afraid of ghosts, something that we're all told doesn't exist, but then finding out that it very much is a thing.
So you're saying being afraid of heights and being put up on a high thing, you're going to be scared, but being afraid of ghosts, but thinking they don't exist, and then encountering ghosts, you're going to be more scared? Possibly.
Because you know heights exist.
Yeah, but you also know the actual tangible damage that falling from that height will do to you. You don't know. There's still a bit of the mystery with the ghosts. Okay, most people don't think they're real, so...
You always fear what you don't know.
Well, okay, thanks, Barbosa.
I don't know why I turned into a pirate. Did he say that in that movie?
I don't know if that's what they said.
Because I was going for more of a Carmen Falcone.
You're literally showing us your peg-legged hook hand right
I was going for Carmen Falcone from Batman Begins.
You're in one.
But that quote is, you always fear what you don't understand.
Line. Look.
I don't know. The bathroom door was opened at one point, and now it's closed.
Now it's closed.
When he goes out to investigate. Now Blair Witch reference, he's hearing running and laughing coming from the nursery. So he runs back to the safe room, and that's where he shuts the door, throws the some kind of dresser or desk against the door, and the camera catches him stepping on that topa.
Yes, and that's also
and breaking it.
That was also
I mean, he's really stomping on it.
Yeah,
that's some really convenient camera placement.
Well, he's good at putting the cameras. He's a
It
professional.
is?
That's also the part where you're talking about where the chat makes him go back out there when he's under the blanket. That he doesn't want to go out there, and they say, "But think about the sponsors, Sean. If you don't go out there,
you said you'd go out there, Sean.
Yeah, the sponsors will leave." And he's like, "Oh shit, the sponsors," and that's why he went back out there in the first place. So they're trying to justify why he is facing his fear.
We could even go further and say that the highlighted chat bits that you're seeing are plants.
That's what I'll say. Like, some of that shit is too convenient, so I can give you points on that. Like, there's plenty of points in favor of your theory.
Maybe some of the stuff that got upvoted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is, if this wasn't actually the intention of the movie, then the movie just fucked up in a lot of ways.
I don't even think necessarily.
It achieves it even higher.
Intention doesn't matter.
This is true.
Does not matter.
Even if this movie could have fucked up half the goddamn thing, I don't even care. I love this movie. Dogs wearing clothes and shit. Shoot, strike. He gets 3 strikes now. That's a strike because it's not supposed to curse.
Yeah. So once that wooden board is broken, that's when the door opens, and I was confused because who opens the door but this flesh looking in reality
a corporeal,
cute little bun pigtail kind of thing going on. And just seems like
I was immediately like, you look familiar to me. Why do you look familiar to me? And I can tell you,
was she in
why.
Borat?
No.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
But she is in the Mythica series of movies, which are basically generic D&D, generic fantasy movies. And Kevin Sorbo, who sucks now, but he was in the first one.
Probably always sucked.
In one of them, Matthew Mercer is the bad guy.
Yeah, he is.
Oh.
No, she's been in a lot of things here and there. Just nothing super major. She is also in their VHS 99 segment, so another reason.
Cool.
I think she's also credited as a producer on this.
Oh, okay. She's like, "Oh my God, Sean, I love you so much," and then she physically pushes the desk away, and now I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen in this movie. I thought something else I thought this was about ghosts, and now there's like another person.
You thought it was gonna turn into
it's like in Barbarian when they left the apartment.
This is where it could have gone even further into the toxic fandom angle of it.
Right, it could have been fan
where
De Niro
instead of being a ghost, she could have just been a psycho stalker fan.
Yeah, easily.
But what if the ghost is a fan?
Ghost is a big fan.
That's kind of my that was going to be my question. Is the ghost a fan? But I'm like, he hugs her twice. I'm like, okay, so she's there. She's really there.
You guys ever watch The Cottage?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it starts off as we kidnapped this lady, and we're dealing with that, like we want the ransom, and then it slowly shifts into a...
Yeah, it starts as one thing, pivots to another.
Yeah, it's dusk till dawn.
Yeah, it could have been a full, like, lovely transition like that, and maybe, though, both things could have been true. Psycho fan, and there's ghosts. I showed up here, Sean, because I'm obsessed with you.
Yep.
But, oh shit, there are ghosts. She definitely gives off, like, the crazy vibes, like, she's way, way too enthusiastic. The fact that she says she puts in, like, the research to find out where he was going in the first place, and then drove all the way out there by herself. And then she goes and she disrespects Corner Ghost space.
Right off the bat. Right. No respect for Corner Ghost.
Corner Ghost got no fucking respect.
Only Corner Ghost goes in the corner.
And then at some point he reads off the poetry and calls it shit, and she's like, well, hey, it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's great.
We'll get there, but I had a red flag really early on with her, because once she shows up, he says he wants to leave. He's done. He says he wants to leave, and then she says leave, like, even with a record number of views.
Yeah, she knows what the.
And my red flag went off. One, how do you know how many? But maybe if she was watching the chat on her way here on the phone, that could have done it. But then my second thought was, oh, you don't want him to leave.
Yeah, but he also says at one point, because he's pissed at her right there, that before this night is over, I'm going to kill Chrissy.
Oh,
yep, he does. Yep. But then she starts directing him on where to go. Like, they give her a cam, call it Chrissy cam.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So she's got her own point, and I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So I'm like, she's not a ghost, because at least how this movie has so far portrayed what a ghost looks like, it's that misty shape that
very
kind of
like ethereal.
Yeah, but doesn't didn't appear to be able to like actually move objects.
Right, it's not tangible.
And not tangible. And she's clearly tangible. But then she's telling him, I think we should go to she starts directing it. We should go to the master bedroom.
Yeah.
Now, these are things I pick up on the second watch. First watch, I'm just going, ooh, I like this movie.
Well, they also let the chat to decide. They let the chat decide. Like, should Chrissy stay or go? Because it's supposed to just be me. Da-da-da, let's do a vote. And the horny chat is all over, like, Chrissy stays. And he's like, well, fuck, okay. I guess you're going to stay. But again...
Are you fansplaining to me right now?
Yeah, right? But then, this is another part where if you're paying attention to the chat, you get the creepy internet dudes. There's one in particular I wrote down was, she presenting those lips.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my god, it's so cringe, but, like, kind of accurate. Yeah, they do you're right. She starts directing him.
And then she starts fucking with him.
Well, they do... Yeah, go on.
Because they start headed that way, and he's checking the camera feed on the tablet. He's seeing, okay, kitchen's clear, fine. But then as they're going down, I think it's when they get to the kitchen, he gets down the stairs.
Yeah, he turns and she's gone.
He turns back, she's gone. He's calling out for her, she's gone. He checks his tablet, her cam is static. And then she pops out from a corner all giggly and mischievous-like. And I'm like, okay. Huh, this is another, you are quick, silent, and mischievous. This is another red flag.
That's also when you fell for her, isn't it?
Oh my god, so I love this ghost. Chrissy. Look, in my headcanon, like, what if Sean had just said, I like this poetry?
She presenting them lips.
And maybe, like, try to have, like, a positive interaction
I wasn't
with her.
really paying attention to the ghost lore, but was part of the reason she was, like, collecting ghosts just to have people listen to her poetry?
That's what they implied.
That's what he thinks.
Yeah, but...
So if
that she
maybe
could have
he
an
had
audience.
just given that, and he was giving her an audience, then it would have been okay.
But then he refused to read it.
He refused to read
That's
it,
when
right.
that's when things started turning a little bit more worse for him. I think if he had just done what I did and immediately fall in love with the ghost.
Do what I did.
And just, you know what? Just fall for that quirky, mischievous...
Ryan, you know what that is?
Buddy.
That's
my wife,
That's a parasocial relationship right there, dog.
Is it?
You don't know this
Damn
ghost.
You don't know
Which
this
way?
ghost.
Oh. Damn it, you're
Are
right.
you the creepy guy in the chat?
I might be.
No, but the view thing, we'll talk about that when we get to it, when he determines the way to beat her. Like, I love that. And that'll go back again to my cleansing hour comment earlier. Yeah, they spin the wheel again, and it stops right in the middle, and he's like, oh, we gotta spin it again. She's like, no, that means we gotta do both things.
That wheel stopped really hard, too.
Yeah, it did.
But, so they go to the master bedroom, and she's going to the corner, and he tells her, no, that's the creeper corner. Don't go over there.
Yeah.
She says, fine. And so then she goes to the closet, and then she screams, right? And then she says she heard something, and that's where we get him saying, before this night is done, I'm gonna kill her.
Yeah.
And so in my head, but then he comes over to the closet. Now, my first time watching, I'm not picking up on any of this, because second time watching it, I'm like, oh, you are completely getting him to go and interact where you want him to.
Mm-hmm.
Because he shows up, there's nothing there. I mean, there's a hole in the wall where the boys can see it all, and he tries to.
It's a good movie. He does an eye roll that is so... I felt that eye roll whenever she said the bit about it meant to be on the line. It wants us to do both. His eye roll looked like if I tried to roll my eyes that hard, it would cause pain. And then, okay, so you're popping all your red flags. The first real red flag I had for her first watch through was when they are sitting down to do the seance, and he's trying to do the same shitty way he did before, but she stops and says, I know a chant that always works. Why the fuck would she already know a chant that already works? But he says the appropriate response to that is, I don't say things I don't understand. Now that tells me, like Ryan was saying earlier, that he has seen, like, the Evil Dead.
No, that's not what I got from that. What I got from that is that sometimes chat will post foreign languages and try to get you to repeat it, to say something nasty in a foreign language, or to say some coded shit like "Let's go, Brandon" or something like that.
Okay.
Fair.
Holy shit, Daniel.
There's so many layers. It can go either way. I still like mine better there though, but you have more experience with that, so that could go. I've heard it both ways.
He doesn't want to get caught saying any gamer words.
Look, shit,
Sure,
shoot,
sure,
don't
sure.
demonetize
Okay.
me.
But they see that, so he thinks there might be mice in there, and then I think it's he who kicks the loose board, and then it's, what do we find? Oh my god, it's a tunnel leading down into the depths of the earth,
Tunnel
right?
snakes.
Tunnel snakes.
Tunnel snakes. And Chrissy's, ooh, a secret room. Let's go down there. Red flag.
Yeah, nope.
Big old red flag. Now, this is where, if I'm doing this movie, what I would, because we find out that she was Mildred the whole time, pretending to be Chrissy. What I would have preferred is
She was Chrissy.
that she actually be a fan
And
who
get
showed up.
possessed.
Yes, and not just possessed. Possessed because Sean made her put on the clothes, made her put on the necklace.
Did he make her though?
And no, that's what I wanted.
Oh, that's
to
what you
happen.
wanted. Okay.
Like you were right. She does that all by herself, but I wanted it to be either a chat thing or a spin the wheel, like do something really stupid on the wheel.
Yeah.
And he says, "Okay, yeah, you put on the clothes, put on the jewelry that we just found, and then say these words." And then he causes her to get possessed.
And then be like, you put this on, and then role play, pretend you're the ghost.
Yes, that's how. If this was not a movie within a movie or a setup within a movie, that's how I would want to. I would want it to be somehow his fault that what happens to Chrissy.
Well, that would be in line with his past. I mean, a lot of the shit happened is his fault. So this would just be another case of the homeless guy dying.
Yeah. But I mean, so they go down there, and then another red flag. As soon as they get down there into the Blair Witch basement, Chrissy immediately goes to the back of the stairs, pulls out the chest, and says, "Ooh, look what I found."
She'd be really good in escape rooms.
She's fantastic. Finds the necklace in there, immediately puts it on, and I'm like, "Oh no, you are inviting the devil into your body, girl. You cannot be doing that. You invited the devil into your house."
And a Christian Lemon shows up and takes care of it, dumps some boiling water
That's
down
when I'm
her
like,
throat.
"Oh, you're
It's like
Mildred, aren't you?"
either she's Mildred and knows where everything is because she's Mildred, or she's an actor and she has to move the plot forward.
Or it's just movie logic and just shit just works out this way.
Yeah, but what else do we find in that treasure chest? We find
Is that where we get the little lockbox?
some clothes, the lockbox. Can't open that yet, but we also find her diary.
Yes.
And he reads a poem from it, and she's like, "Oh, that's so cool. Read another one."
Yes. Yes.
Okay, got it.
Just keep reading.
Yeah, and you're right, Daniel. This is the point where the chat is basically just telling him to hook up with Chrissy.
Yeah. The creepy chat is creepy. But Chrissy's not Chrissy, is she?
No, and she's dropping some things like telling Sean that, "Don't worry, Sean, I got a feeling that soon you won't be afraid anymore."
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he's a little bitch because he heard noises in the bathroom and he's like, "Chrissy, you go into the." He sends Chrissy to go investigate it.
Yeah. If anyone's gonna die here, it's gonna be Chrissy. I'm the talent. Okay. She just showed up. She ain't supposed to be here anyway. She dies. It's cool. Send her.
But then once again he sends her, and then her feed cuts out.
Look, she's not a professional. Okay. She doesn't know.
Or the feed is cutting out because she's getting some prosthetics slapped on for the upcoming scene.
I'm nodding.
Or
I'm saying this because of what you've said.
Or
Daniel.
she's
I'm like,
going
"Yep."
full ghost, and that shit is not handling the transition okay because of the electromagnetic pulse coming out from the ghost
If
energy.
she's a corporeal ghost, she could just click it off, right?
She could, but also she enjoys fucking with Sean. So she could just be a ghost who's fucking with Sean. And I don't know, anytime we have something where a ghost interacts with modern, like an old-timey ghost interacts with modern shit and people, somehow they always seem to pick up on how all that works super fucking quick and easy. Which is still kind of lazy. So I still like your theory more because it's way less lazy. And it gives a lot of credit to how they set everything up here. So I like it. I'm still not saying it's 100% right because we'll never know, but I like it.
Get them on the pod, you know?
We have to not suck first.
Shit.
Oh, yeah. There's always that.
Yeah. So when he's about to he gets jumped by Chrissy Mildred.
So she's still Chrissy at this point, but he's talking about he's gonna Google let's Google how to exercise like little ghost children, and she says, "I don't think that's a good idea." Gets really close to him, and then out of nowhere. Just
It is.
bites him
It is out of nowhere.
Yeah, she just like jumps
It's
on
like
him and tries to
that
choke him out.
switch. Oh God, so good. What happens to my sweet, sweet Chrissy?
So they
Daniel?
struggle, and then he grabs a bit of wood from the wall and jabs it in her neck.
Yeah, she's lying. You're a crazy stalker freak, officially uninvited. Kills her.
Yep. And we see the blood coming out of her neck
Uh-huh.
and just starting to pool on the ground.
So Chrissy's dead.
And I'm still thinking, oh, okay, she wasn't a ghost. You just killed your number one fan. Uh-oh.
Yeah, you done messed up there, buddy. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, maybe she was just being possessed. She was or crazy, but she's not a ghost.
Wait, during that attack though, was that the first finger in the nose, or was that the next attack?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, he kills her. He runs back. He goes to watch.
He goes back to the safe room,
Right, and he
leaving
stops.
no eyes on the body, giving the actress time to get up and reposition.
I mean, that's what you say. And then he conveniently finds a video online from that like 12-year-old like kid, basically telling him about the Topa.
We've been calling it that, but my note says Hamza.
Hamza. Shit.
I'm not sure where the Topa.
What is a Topa? Topa is a thing.
Topa. No, that's the
A Topa isn't that the thing you summon, like a Topomancer?
Yes. We talked about a Topa.
Like Tolpa. It's a Tolpa. It's a Tolpa.
Tolpa.
Topa. Sorry, but that is like a summoned entity,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You use like and is it connected to a fetish, something that you've also created?
Not
and it's linked to
necessarily.
it? Okay.
Yeah. So Hamza.
I apologize to everyone. We've it's a Hamza.
We can cut that out.
We can go
They
back
would
and
never
we
fucking
can
know.
say Look, this one's for
Hamza.
replace Hamza.
Hamza.
Just
Hamza?
use any of these Hamzas. Hamza.
Dreidel.
Dreidel.
It's a Hamza.
Dreidel.
It's totally a Hamza.
Ham Solo. Yeah, so the 12-year-old kid on the video is like, dude, that I looked it up, man. That was a Hamza, not a Topa. And and I'm pretty sure you done fucked up when you broke it. So you actually, made this
You've
happen.
legally allowed the devil into your house.
Into your house.
We gotta link that
Yep.
video in the Twitter at some point, if I can find it again. Yeah, so at this point, Sean has realized, oh, I broke the thing that was keeping the spirits kind of subdued, because there hasn't been a case of anything happen there since, what was the last person to actually die in that house? Was it the one who was killed by Cornerman?
I don't know that the ghosts actually
I think
killed
it was
anyone.
Suicides.
It was suicide.
No,
So I mean,
they hated
in
themselves.
an indirect way.
It was murder.
It was she hated herself. And that's why I have a theory at the end that Sean, if it's ghosts at the end of this, Sean's not dead.
Oh, no, I don't think Sean was dead. Or if he was, it was kind of like a eternal, like, unlife power type thing. Like Chrissy, like, yeah, she's dead, or Mildred, but, she's a powerful dead, if you will.
Daniel, because it's around this time that we're on the camera, on the iPad stuff, tablet, we can see that there's a figure hanging in the corner, but when he's looking, there's no one there.
Right.
And so if I go with you and that's pre-recorded footage, the reason she can't be hanging in at the time for him is because she has to be able to jump him later.
Right. They could have used a body double, but if you don't know that many people,
that would have been hard to get out of the maybe hard to pull out of a shot.
Yeah.
And make that work.
That's fair.
But if you have it just timed up well enough, but once she jumps him, now we're in Evil Dead makeup.
We've gone full Evil Dead at this point. She's choking him out. She takes that big nasty finger with the long nail.
What's with the finger up the nose?
But like when she gets stabbed in the neck, that blood work and that makeup and the makeup on his neck wound, that's good. That's not the same quality of makeup you see later on in the movie.
You're gonna feel really bad if it turns out that they tried and they just started falling apart.
It's 100% fine if they did try, because the realities of making a thing like this, right? But if it was on purpose, imagine.
Just imagine. Yeah, the finger in the nose.
Answer my question. What's with the finger in the nose?
I was actually gonna ask that.
That's just where, like,
Kenny, what's with the finger in the nose?
Okay, so you know how a big thing in horror movies is like eyes, right? Like you show like something getting really close to an eye. Well, maybe they were just looking for their own thing there. Like, look at that fucking finger. Could you imagine that? Digging, like, it goes fucking up in there. Can you imagine having that
I do.
up in your nose.
I've had I do the nasal COVID tests, all right?
Yeah.
I do the nasal swabs.
Yeah,
I'm a man.
that's how I do it.
I let it tickle the back of my throat.
Maybe maybe that's a commentary on COVID.
This whole thing, it's fake.
Sure.
Yeah. Not where I was going with that, but
you heard it here, folks.
You heard it here first, folks.
It's all staged, right?
It's all staged. And Daniel, your theory answers a lot of my questions because I was like, because he tries to leave the house and he can't because he had put kind of like a bike lock on the door,
right?
And then so he goes to retrieve the key that he put on the floor vent, and when he does, it's no longer that key; it's a different key. And then the chat tells him it's the key to the
little lockbox.
He lets the chat have interactions and help feel like they're participating in
much
the event.
like that thing I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah,
he's running around, right, and he ends up back like in that closet, right?
It's almost a choose your own adventure for the chat.
Kind of. Yeah. Well, yeah, and those are always interesting. Like you talked
and
about.
What a better way to get chat engagement and a lot more buzz about what's happening. Okay. Yeah.
And you give them the weight of like, hey, you got to do this, Sean, because they're your sponsors. So, but this is the part where I'm like, okay, if this is the case, and this is a very, very bold thing he does here, because he's freaking out. He's back in that closet, he's hiding, and he's talking to the chat, and that's when he drops the bomb, like, I apologize because I had to. I didn't do anything wrong. Apparently, he had like one of his videos was like a bum fight, I'm assuming, where he fights a homeless guy, and the homeless guy got seriously hurt because he had a medical condition. Sean's like, the guy was bigger than I was. I didn't know he had a condition. I didn't do anything wrong. And it's like, I regret apologizing. Now, if this whole thing is a setup thing, him saying that live on stream, even if it's supposed to be, I'm in a life or death thing and I'm pressed up to it, would be very, very risky because, again, his whole thing is based on,
he made the bullshit apology before, which every time you see that, it's a bullshit apology.
Right. That's what I'm with you, 100%.
And it didn't work.
He had to wait 6 months.
Then he has to come back 6 months later with this big production, and in the middle of it, slip in a real apology.
But he didn't, though. He said, I apologize because I had to. I regret apologizing. There wasn't a real apology there.
Even acknowledging it, I think, is acknowledgement. That's something they don't do is acknowledge wrongdoing. It's always, if I offended, I'm sorry.
Right, like, I'm sorry what I said offended you. Not that I said an offensive thing. But still, that's risk. That's
bold.
It's very bold.
But it could also be completely constructed.
No, I get that, because, again, every time one of these people do something like that and they bring out their apology, we all think it's full of shit. You're apologizing because you have to. Show us real growth. You can have growth, but you gotta show it. It's just like when our kids do something wrong.
But
shoot,
you still tuned into the apology.
Well, because you want to hear the bullshit. Sometimes it's just about the fucking...
I'm clicking on that to see that cute puppy you're probably holding.
I do like puppies.
I do like that. But, now, Daniel, if you're just dead wrong, why did that ghost give him the key to the lockbox?
What was in the lockbox?
Because all that's in there is
the finger,
Mildred's finger, and some. What else is in there? Some missing pages. Is that
was
right?
it part of her diary? Was it
there?
the ritual?
I think it was like the hand ritual. Was in there.
Okay, so you have Mildred.
Why would the ghost give him the key to the things that he can use to?
Well, there are different ghosts with different agendas.
So you think one of the other ghosts was trying to break free from Mildred's control? So it's what's the movie where the ghost isn't basically is Hell House? Hell House is he's basically controlling all the other ghosts are under his thumb.
Ghost Dad, yeah,
Ghost Dad, Bill Cosby. So yeah, that could be their resistance to her control, trying to get it out there. Sure, okay.
I want to talk about a fun moment I had when he went back to the nursery.
Wait, is that before he gets out of the closet, or before he goes into the closet?
I think he's gonna go back into the closet at some point. Basically, he goes back in. I think he's trying to escape.
Because I want to talk about.
You want to talk about her popping up between his legs and biting his dick?
I want to talk about the dick bite in the closet.
That's what's gonna happen later. Because he goes into the nursery again, and he wants to escape. I think he went and got the rope, tied it.
Now there are 2 clown dolls.
Now there are 2. Yes,
and the chat reminds him, of the rope.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I like clown dolls. It reminds me of Poltergeist. Good stuff.
Yeah.
But now there's a boy sitting on the bed, And as he approaches, the boy turns, and we can see he has this weird conjoined twin.
Yeah.
But there's also like, before that, I guess there is that happens when he jumps out. Before this, what I'm talking about, which was made me sad, and I'm like, I don't want this anymore, because it was the sound of a baby crying, and he comes up to the bed, and it's like a maybe toddler-sized thing under the sheets, and you can see the outline, and it's just crying, and I'm like, oh, that's the baby that died.
Oh,
I don't like this. But then it like darts at him really fast.
But the thing you gotta remember, Ryan, is no baby.
There was nothing there.
No baby died.
Yeah, no baby died.
Because there were no ghosts.
Not only is it just a movie,
no
it's just a movie within a movie, so it's double fake, buddy.
Mm-hmm. It's just
I get it. I get invested
theater.
and I get sad.
Just theater.
That was a solid dick bite, though.
10 out of 10.
Yes,
he's sitting.
So here's what happens. He goes back into the closet, and that's where he finds out that a Latin professor is telling him, Yo, bro, I'm a professor. What you just said, you invite a devil into your house.
You legally allowed the devil to come into your house. And I love, those interactions, like I said, unless his fan base is that fucking big, which I guess it could be, to have all those people on there that know that much about the shit, which, again, I guess it could be.
I think he's got like 4 million or 5 million viewers. That is insane.
Look, it's insane how much some of these people have viewers in like real life.
True.
Well, good content, entertaining. Why not?
Yeah, it's just crazy. Well, it's not just that it's good and entertaining, but look at how many other things are out there this day and age. Like, when a movie comes out this day and age, it's not as big an event. Like, there's many things.
There's a lot of things competing for your attention.
Like, if Deadstream had came out 20 years ago, everyone would be talking about it.
Sure.
Instead, I guarantee there are people that don't even know this thing exists because it wasn't a theatrical release or anything like that. Not to say there wasn't direct-to-video shit back in the day, but there wasn't as much. We could walk into a video store and we'd stumble across fucking Scarecrow Gone Wild or whatever. There's no way for people to stumble across this unless they're looking for it, because it's on a very specific streaming service.
Right.
But now, thanks to us. Five more people.
Five
are
more.
Gonna be aware.
Maybe 10.
Bites his crotch and says, guilty.
Yeah. But he like pull, like the blanket is moving between his legs. He's sitting on the floor and he pulls it and her head's right there in between his legs. And just fucking full dick bite. And that's when I wrote in, like, we've gone full Evil Dead at this point.
I'm like, hello, Linda.
Yeah. So fucking good. And that's when he says, fuck the rope, right? He goes, runs.
He jumps out the window.
Yeah, he just fucked the rope and he jumps out the window.
Falls hard.
Yeah.
Harder than he needed to.
He doesn't know how to roll.
Well, are you critiquing his parkouring skills?
At this point,
maybe it's just because I know how to fall, but like...
I think it is.
Okay.
No, I think at this point, Daniel's so sold on his fucking theory that that's all he can see. So everything that happens, he's going to point back like, no, he felt like that on purpose to imply that he's going to be way more hurt.
Well, no, setup or not, it's just a me thing. It's just a me.
You have to roll.
It's probably just a me thing.
We all didn't take tumbling until we were fucking 16. Ryan can't tumble. If Ryan went out of that window, he'd shatter into a dust.
Bet?
I'd probably bounce.
He could do it once.
All right. That was a beautiful window jump, though. He fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Not the landing.
10 point.
But the jump itself. Does he get in the car first, or does he encounter the cop?
He has to find his spark plugs first.
Yeah, he wants to go find the spark plugs because his dumbass threw the spark plugs.
And he does. And I'm like, he finds one of them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
That is, I'm like, because when he first did it, I'm like, how the hell are you gonna find? You just tossed it without looking.
It's like, you're never gonna leave.
Find that spark. You're never, even if nothing is happening. Like, I once dropped a cell phone in the woods, and my God, gone. It's just gone.
The whole woods.
Let alone spark plugs.
Yeah.
Also, it's almost like it's a setup.
And it just happens to be next to the weird rat person.
But
puppet.
But maybe the ghosts did that.
And here's the question. So if it is ghosts, I thought all of the ghost activity, based on what we've been told, the ghost activity was all localized to inside the house.
But it's the property.
But now it's outside.
You could say that Mildred is trying to keep him in the house, and the other ghosts are trying to push him out.
I don't know if that works with what we get from our boy, what's his name?
The cop?
The cop. Max.
Well, the cop pushes him to the car.
Yeah, but he's not happy with
Like he's.
I didn't get the I didn't get the sense that he was trying to help him.
But
leave. I got
also,
the sense that he
here
was
is
trying to
where
mess with him.
my theory first developed. Is with
Okay.
the cop. So, cop comes at him. He knocks cop over, right? And then there's a
Yes.
long pause while he's in the car before the cop reappears with makeup on.
He's an old ghost.
But
he's got old ghost bones.
a pause in action, and then my mind's like, it's a long pause. Long enough for someone to apply makeup
Yeah,
and then
but how many?
reappear.
But I'm gonna throw back at you though. Like I think it could also just be for cinematic, like dramatic effect. How long was Cujo outside that fucking car? How many times was he constantly up on the thing? There were breaks when Cujo going up the car. So maybe the cop is like, cop dusted himself off, got up, like
A ghost would
what a
not need to
dick.
do that.
He doesn't need to, but he's still like, hey, look, he still feels alive, He gets up, he does it. It's, more of a mental thing, a ghost mental thing. He gets up and he slowly walks over there and he wants to, they're fucking with him. They're all fucking with, everyone's fucking with Sean.
But this is where the idea first popped into my head, and then I kind of worked backwards.
I can see.
Sure,
Oh, yeah.
sure.
No, I don't doubt that.
You know what I like?
Bears.
That we can kick the shit out of these ghosts.
Yeah. Which Evil Dead.
They're not good at fighting. I mean, the cop ghost has testicles. You kicks them right in the testicles.
Wolfman has nards.
That's great.
Yeah, and that's where it's like, yeah, cop is clearly the guy who died after seeing the corner man, because same mustache.
Yeah.
And we get another, except for you, Mother Frogger, because he can't curse because he doesn't want to lose his, sponsors.
Yeah.
Also, he
Shoots him with
supposedly
the
had a
already
big
established
chunk
potato
taken
gun.
out of his neck, and he just put duct tape on it, and he's fine.
The duct tape works for everything.
Duct tape solves everything.
Yes, the potato gun was fantastic.
It is known.
So he's in the back of the car. Is this where he interacts with the little boy and his grandma? Or the older man and his grandma? Where we find out she's the one who made the Hamza.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's where we get that video.
That's still in the car.
Does she end that video by saying, "You're gonna die"?
She does. They go,
like,
he's like,
"Aw, shit, you're gonna die."
The man goes to his grandma and goes, "He destroyed it, grandma." And she goes, "Aw, shit, he's gonna die." And it's perfect.
That's great.
And it's like, then he's freaking out and he's like, "I don't want to be remembered as a douchebag. Freaking Mildred, she's such a C."
So did he has a tussle with the sheriff. He gets a potato gun, and I think he chews on a jerky bar or something. Can he kill the ghosts?
So it seems like he kills the sheriff. Well, he can probably kill their physical manifest. We're making up rules here. He could probably kill the physical manifestation, but I imagine, given time, it could probably make another one, as we see later. They all show back up. So, video game rules here. You kill it, it takes a while for it to rebuild back up in that physical state, if I had to guess. These are my rules.
Do you think, like, what would have happened if Max, the sheriff ghost, just could do anything he wanted to Sean? Would he have killed him?
I think Mildred has to kill him, probably.
I think he would have dragged him
house.
back to the house.
Yeah.
Drag him back to that, because I was wondering, like, do all these ghosts right now, Mildred roughing him up for sure. But the other ones, like the boy, baby under the blanket, they're just, like, spooking him.
Yeah.
But they're not actually doing anything. They're spooking him by just existing.
Right, and we could argue that the sheriff is physically trying to get on him because, well, maybe he is trying to get him back into the house. If he leaves him alone, he can get the car going. No, I can. That dog hunts. I can bite that.
All right.
This
is where I went, wait, what? Because then Sean has a brilliant idea of, how I'm gonna take care of this business. Copy strike. So the exact copy strike.
He has the exact knowledge and skill set to do what needs to be done to take care of this ghost, which lends credit to Daniel's theory that it's all set up because, come on. It's really like she
Can one of you I need one of you to explain his logic to me.
I don't even remember what the fuck happened, so you're gonna have to help.
I've heard it twice and it doesn't entirely
So I don't think he
makes sense to me.
So when he says copy strike, the first thing I think of is you use someone else's, you use a song that you don't have the rights to, so they take your, and he goes into it. He used something and they took the entire monetization from that episode. He got no money of it because he used someone else's
So
material.
is his thought process that he's going to use ghost shit
but what he actually goes and does isn't exactly the same. He wants to go in there and just steal her viewer, so to speak. He wants to steal her ghost power. So he wants to go in there and do the same deal with the devil that she did to get the power in that house, and then he's going to take her souls that she has trapped in the house.
So he's calling that one thing
and doing something else.
Would there be a better word for what he's doing? That
I'm not sure, because copy strike is something with his limited
something else.
Like that's something we can kind of infer. So I don't know, like a viewer steal.
To me, that's almost like I don't know if this is the case because they nailed so many different other aspects of it to me. But to me, that's them using the filmmakers using a word and them not understanding what it actually means.
Well, and that's what's crazy, because he kind of explains what it is, but then what he's doing isn't that. So unless we're not getting exactly what his plan was, which is possible, we're not.
But they nailed so many other things, I don't see how it could be what I said.
Right, so because they nailed everything else so well, is it possible that we're just stupid?
Could be.
It is.
Yeah.
Because, so as he's going to use the Unholy Hand of Power ritual on Mildred to get possession of her ghosts so that she has no more power and will go away. And my limited brain says that's not a copyright strike. That's not a copy strike.
Right, so we can all agree.
What would be a copy strike is if him saying he already had, well, I don't know, it's weird to me.
Unless he's coming in and he's saying it's a copy strike because he's coming in and he's gonna happy birthday to you claim that song.
He
is
would
already
have to
his.
say that I'm the devil.
Okay.
And this is my power that you took from me.
Yeah.
So he's being a patent troll.
Yes,
that's what he's
doing. Let's go with that. Patent troll. So
maybe he's doing a false claim on her.
Just to get it shut down momentarily.
A false DMCA claim, yeah.
Look, that happens.
Oh, yeah.
So this is where we get like his gearing back up thing, though. He goes back into the house. He should have
swatted
her. He is acting very brave.
He has a plan. He's confident now. He knows. Look, he killed that one, which we didn't talk about when he potato cannons the sheriff.
Big old hole in him, yeah.
Big old hole, and the sheriff falls in the potato cannon. Sean's laying on the ground underneath it, and he does the slow fall down the cannon and slides down onto Sean, which is always a hilarious bit.
It's Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Which, yeah.
Oh, yes, beautiful.
I'm surprised Sam Raimi didn't have a shout out in the special thanks. He might have. I don't always watch the credits. Yeah, that was beautiful. But yeah, he's confident. He's got a plan now. He thinks, you're in my territory now. Like, I'm a YouTuber. You're just a ghost influencer. So look, I got this. So he's all confident. He goes in there, he grabs one of the used needles and fucking pulls out a plug of holy water into the needle, which I'm like, oh god, I love that. And then to antagonize her, he starts trashing her fucking poetry, and I'm like, yes, King, trash her poetry.
This is the part. This is the part in Phasmophobia where you go into the room and start shouting at the ghost,
yelling at the ghost, and then he says,
like, "Hey, ghost."
Then we got a name drop here where he actually says, "Yeah, what are you gonna do? Send your child army after me like a frickin' pootie pie."
I think it's Poo Die Pie.
Is that how you say his name?
Is that what he says?
That was in the chat. It was spelling it Poo Die Pie,
like POODIE.
Yeah. No, PEWPDIE.
Oh, they put an extra E in there.
Pew Die Pie
instead of Poo D Pie.
So it's a parody of Pewdie.
Who? Never heard of him.
One
of those people who screams and acts scared a lot.
Yeah. So then God, how does he end up in the bathroom? Fuck.
Doesn't she chase him in there?
They have a tussle. No, or it's he stabs Corner Man.
Is it Corner Man he gets in a fight with, and they end up in the bathroom?
But then Corner he does he put the silver dagger on a stick or something.
Yes,
and, shoved it through,
and he's like jabbing at air,
Corner Man,
jabbing at air,
and then
got him,
and then it hits it.
Yeah,
but then it turns around and it jabs back at him and hits him in the leg.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes. Yes. No, this was great.
And then he goes and flees to the bathroom.
And then there's so we didn't talk about it. There's the bathtub's full of like this nasty, dirty water.
That's
and I was like, he's pretending like he's gonna touch it. I'm like, don't touch that. And then I'm like, he's totally gonna like get all in that later. Yeah, he does. So wait, so I'm trying to remember the order of events here because he gets possessed at one point, a la Evil Dead. But that's later. But she is knocking on the door. Kills his flashlight,
and then you hear the sound of the door opening, and then he gets possessed.
Well, okay, so there's only one thing, because, and this is where if you just fall in love with the ghost, you have a whole different experience, because she talks to him, and she could have done this so many different ways. She could have come at it as being very creepy, or trying to scare him, but it's not. It's in a very neutral, dare I say, sweet tone, where she says, "Well, you're Sean,
just fucking on board, though, is the thing."
I am shipping this so hard. She said, "Sean, I want you to meet someone," but it's not. I don't know. It's not. She's not delivering.
You're
it in
expecting.
A scary way.
What I was expecting was the light to come back on and there to be a jump scare in front of him.
Fair.
I was also expecting jump scare. I was also what I was thinking was it was going to be her again, but in the Chrissy form.
That's what you were hoping.
Yeah, you were hoping that, big boy.
Yeah. Look, I fell in love with a ghost. I don't know what to say.
Hey, that's the title of your new hit single. I fell in love with a ghost.
Is why
I don't know what
This is why I don't survive this movie, because I'm like, I am all up. Yes, let's do this.
Yeah, we would get out the front door, would get to the car, and Chrissy.
Where's Ryan?
I'm in there.
Ryan, come back.
I'm sitting next to her. I'm reading her poetry.
Like, this is
I'm
good
laughing,
ass poetry.
This is shit. Tell me more about this still pond water.
Do you got any slam poetry? I'm into that.
Any finger food?
Oh God. So when does the fucking part where he needles the one
right there?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, he comes back. He's possessed. He's got the whiteness in his eyes, and he's where else would he be?
He's in the fucking nasty water
bathtub. In that nasty. Oh, you say nasty. I mean, I bet it was warm.
That's probably like
tepid.
Sometimes we give our kids a bath and the water gets a little too dirty, and I'm like, what the fuck have you guys been into?
A shower bath.
Shower bath.
Yeah, man. Did you ever stick your hand in there and then find an eyeball?
What?
Oh God. What have I found in there?
Poop.
Poop. No, there's been no poop. Well, Kim might have that one time. I didn't.
All right, we're in the bathtub. We got Daniel's wondering what we're talking about an eye, and he's wondering why we're talking about catching an eye in the bathtub.
Because he did that in the movie.
And then what happens? So he pulls out an eye and he pops it in his mouth, because why not?
Yeah, he just eats it because he's possessed.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's fine.
So I think at this point I had decided it was all a setup, so I started paying less attention to to what was happening.
Because you're like, this is all fake.
Yeah, it's all fake.
It's bullshit. Wasting my time. So you weren't having a good time?
No, I was having a great time, especially once I decided that I'd fucking cracked the code like it was the goddamn Da Vinci Code.
So you're like, you can keep doing all your tricks. You can't fool me. I'm fucking Daniel. There's fucking tunnel snakes and babies and goblins and
no goblins in this movie.
Yes, but one could argue that the house was actually built by a goblin. Her father was a goblin. And she wasn't processed properly when she died, because when a goblin kills themselves, they become and she was only half goblin. They're more likely to leave a spiritual residue, if you will, because much like in real life, where goblins are just slimy and they leave a residue, their spirits are big ectoplasm producers. And
is Slimer a goblin?
Yeah, Slimer is actually a goblin produced from inbreeding. That's why he's pure slime, because that's goblin brother sister action.
Can we talk about one of the greatest fake outs in movie history?
We can.
Which would be what? Which is what?
So in The Prestige, like, it turns.
That's a good movie.
That's a damn good movie.
Yes. Also, I was thinking. So he has a tussle with Mildred again. Knocks her out, knocks her down, and he puts a camera on her this time. So now we got a camera on. I think he calls her Mildred. Yeah. So he gets her point of view, and then he runs into the safe room. Okay, and then Mildred doing a John Carpenter Halloween shot. We see her like moving into the safe room, and we see Sean's legs behind the desk that have been moved.
Right.
And she goes and takes a look, and then I was confused at first because I looked. I'm like, wait, it's just the lower half of his body, and then he comes out and smacks her with a chair.
So he took his pants off.
That is the best.
Yeah. He took his pants off, which was fantastic.
That is great.
That was after, though, he injected the one guy in the eyeball with the holy water, right?
Yes, in the bathtub.
We didn't talk about it. So he has when he comes out of the possession, he has a tussle with that guy, and he's wrapped up in the shower curtain, and he takes the needle full of holy water and he injects that in his fucking eye, and he's like, "Ha! garlic might not have done anything, but holy water did, and then the head explodes and he's got fucking chunks all over his face. What do you guys think that was?
Yeah. I think that's a little bit of I don't know.
You're saying like what
Jell-O?
what they used for the special effects?
Yeah. What do you think it was?
Yeah.
It's like a yellow goopy.
It's sketty.
It's all
Cream
sketty.
of corn. Corn cream.
And then he tough talks the dead monster, which I think we absolutely would. Any one of us.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Also, this is 2 movies in a row now where we have people dropping down all dramatic like from the ceiling.
Mhm.
And one day I'm gonna do that to you fellas.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. Also,
Toe Daniel does not approve.
so before he takes his pants off and does all that.
I don't remember this.
Before he does that, does he also try to do the ritual on her first?
It's after he bashes her with the chair.
Okay, so
he attempts to do the ritual.
Yeah. So the part that I'm like, okay, I'm not a big user of duct tape. I like duct tape. I have some occasionally, but he makes the ritual hand thing on the floor, and then he tries to tape her to the floor. That floor is dusty as fuck. Would that tape adhere at all to that floor?
No.
No.
I mean, it'd stick, but what happens is she breaks out of it because of course she would.
Right, but I think it even implied that it took more effort than it actually would have. I don't even know that it would stick to anything other than her arms.
Yeah.
That dusty. But yeah, I don't know. Also, I'm with you though, Ryan. I love that he is Winnie the Poohing it for the rest of the movie with no pants on because of that fucking setup there to hit her with the chair. He came in like John Cena. Da, 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 da. Fucking hits her with the chair. Okay, look, it's a great movie. That's all I'm saying. It's a good movie.
Now, where are we coming down on getting waterboarded with your own pee? What's our stance on that?
I don't love it. It sounds like it'd be uncomfortable.
It's funny.
All right.
I love that they did it. Yeah, it was funny. And also, he needs to hydrate.
Well,
it's been drinking that fucking energy
it's
drink.
the energy drinks, yeah.
That shit was like gold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need more. You need more, buddy.
And then
do that to you.
during their scrum, does the finger not go into the other nostril?
I believe it does. Another nose up the finger up the nose.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is Mildred just really? This is her kink.
She's
Right.
in the nose
This is what
play.
she likes.
She's in the nose
Right.
play.
She's a nose play.
Right. So he tried to do the ritual and it didn't work.
Didn't work.
Didn't work.
Then they have another tussle, and another favorite thing I have is he falls down the stairs, and then he's crawling away, and then in the background we hear her fall down the stairs.
Yes. And they're both just like
I'm like, I love this.
they're both crawling.
Because in this reality, you can kick the shit out of a ghost.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't remember when this popped up on the chat, but again, this was another funny little chat thing that popped up where someone said, "LOL, does anyone else still think Chrissy is hot?" Like as Mildred, like
That was Ryan.
that was right.
That was
Ryan
Ryan.
chiming in on the
I was
chat.
gonna say,
Yeah, and so then he gets. What is it? He's trying to escape again. He's crawling around. Does he go back to the air vent again to see if his actual key is down there? Is that what it is? The air duct?
I think he's
Because I remember
remembering that there has to be some kind of
sacrifice,
physical thing to make and then he's like, oh, her finger. And then he's connecting. Oh, she cut off her finger in her ritual. Although when we see her, she has all her fingers, right?
Right, but maybe they're ghost fingers.
No, it would be difficult if this were
for an actress
for an
to
actress
hide it
to
like
hide
that.
it.
If
Well,
you,
if she just never
if you were
puts her
showing
hand
it
in the
live,
shot.
it'd still be. I'm with you, Daniel.
No, there's been some people out there that live online that have certain physical differences that have spent most of their career not showing them. I'm not going to name drop, but when they show them, it's like, oh shit. So they just strategically place the camera.
For example, I have no legs.
No legs.
No legs, Daniel.
Yeah. Hell of a nope. We're not taking low
Actually,
shots at. We're
Actually,
not
I
taking
don't
low
have
shots at Daniel today.
As far as they know, I don't have a body at all. I'm just a voice.
That's the only kind of shots we can take.
He doesn't have a body. He's just a nose. Shit.
Son of a-
New year, new me. God damn it.
Son of a bitch.
So yeah, he realizes there needs to be some kind of sacrifice, and he cuts off his finger.
And I don't think
Which
we
finger
would.
does he cut off?
Okay.
Not his pinky, which would be the one.
Oh, I'm sorry. He doesn't cut off his finger. He chops off his finger.
Which
So
again, I would do the pinky.
Also, that what is it like a meat cleaver? That's established early on. Scrotum's meat cleaver.
Yeah,
It is
he did.
established, and something I noticed about it is because there's graffiti all over the house, and there's graffiti in the kitchen, but I couldn't see like some of the other kitchen utensils have the spray paint over them, and as far as I could tell, the meat cleaver did not. And it even had like some graffiti behind it a little bit.
Interesting.
Huh.
What do you think? What do you think that means?
That it was placed,
That they fucked up.
or that I don't know, or there was graffiti on it and I just didn't see it.
No, that that was a they within the movie themselves like fucked up.
That's what Daniel would say.
That's the Easter egg to Daniel's theory.
That's it. That's Daniel's theory. And then if it's just ghosts, my theory would be the ghosts put it there.
So back to my theory. I wrote down a note like an hour and a half ago now. So the camera. This has to do with my question of dominant hand. The camera is on his right shoulder, right? Now,
sure.
Yeah. He's cutting off his
left finger. If the camera's on his right shoulder, that would give him a much better viewing angle on doing that, right? So I'm saying he actually is left-handed, but for the purposes of this thing, he has to chop the left because the camera's on the right.
And wouldn't you? I'm mimicking cutting off my own hand right now, and I'm using my dominant hand to hold the knife.
100%.
Right.
Yeah. I would not go the other way. I wouldn't have enough control.
Is that pro left-handed or anti-left-handed?
This is pro your theory.
But he cut the finger off the left.
That's what I'm saying. But the only reason he did that is because the camera's on the right.
Right. But what Ryan just said was he has to use his dominant hand to do it.
Normally you would.
So what's his chopping?
To get the better shot, though, you would have to do it with the right hand.
So was he implying that the chop was sloppy?
No, but you wouldn't mind that it would be sloppy if you weren't actually chopping off your finger.
Yes.
Well, you'd be all amped up that it wouldn't. I mean, there'd be lots of excuses for the chop.
We could say if it's the ghost reality, then yeah, and if it's maybe he just used that left hand to toss some stuff, but he's really right dominant.
He could be ambidextrous.
Maybe. He could be.
I still though say
or he could be chopping up a fake hand.
A prosthetic hand.
You don't. If you have to chop off a finger, you chop off your fucking pinky.
I don't think he uses the left hand for anything after throwing, which is like, so at some point, it gets switched with a prosthetic to do the chopping.
You think they pulled a thing on us? So, real fake.
Okay.
Sure.
But this is me snake tunneling.
Sure.
Yeah, that's That's the least on board part of your theory I'm with.
Yeah, even if you're wrong about the hand dominant thing, everything else you said still stands.
Hell yeah.
Your theory is not contingent on this hand dominant stuff.
I've even gone back and forth on it because there's a big part that I crossed off.
Uncross that and tell us what it is.
Yeah, you tell us your secrets.
So
let us tell you it's stupid.
So I wrote down left-handed question mark, left-handed question mark. Then because he throws with the left hand, I guess he pulls open the door with the left hand. But then the part where I crossed it off is when he cuts the finger off with the right hand. But then I had the thought earlier on about the camera being here. So that's all back on board. I'm uncrossing it off. I'm circling it.
But I mean, he's always got something in his hand, so he has to have one hand free to do stuff and one hand to hold things. Because he always has his tablet and shit. So are you running around holding the tablet in your off hand or your dominant hand? And if it's in your dominant hand, well then you're gonna use your other hand to open doors and shit. The hand part is the least solid part of your thing.
It's the throw. It's literally just the throw that
was it a good throw?
That throws me off.
Sure.
There's
but you know what? Cutting off his finger, it works.
Yeah. I would have done the fucking pinky.
Somehow it worked. I don't remember what they were, but I think each finger had a different power associated with it.
The lament hand.
Right, it's the lament hand.
That's an occult thing, right?
Yeah. The lament hand. Absolutely.
We'll have to look up the hummus.
Not the lament hand, but each finger having a different power.
Yeah, each finger of the hummus has a different power.
This one can pick nose. These two.
Either nostril.
So, pointer picks nose, tall man marries pointer. I don't know.
Ring finger you don't need for the shaka.
Yeah. So that's the one you lose.
But I feel like he cut off his pointer finger, his fucking trigger finger.
Well, he dumb.
I mean, I guess they didn't want to chop off one of his bowling fingers.
Then again, which finger would you cut off to be more cinematic?
I would cut off my pinky because that's realistic. What the fuck do you do, pinky? I mean, I don't want to lose
cinematic? You cut off the whole hand. Just to make sure.
My sacrifice was bigger. Devil loves me more. My power.
That's right.
Cut off your dick.
Copyright.
Copy strike.
Copyright. I'm a copy strike.
I'm a swatter.
Yeah.
So why does she get eaten by the house?
Because the spirits now, they've been trapped by her. They don't like her. He didn't trap them. So this gives, she no longer has the power to control them. So she turns on them. Or sorry, they turn on her.
They all have their own agenda thing, yeah.
Right, like they
just
don't
drag her into a pool.
Yeah.
A pond of blood.
Yeah.
Because her point of view gets sucked it down into the vent somehow, and then it's blood pool.
Right, and it's beautiful. And there's where he does this thing next, which I forgot to bring this up earlier in the movie. It's probably one of my favorite things that he does, is he has a fucking little cassette player, and he starts playing outro music. And the thing is, when he went running in, all fucking Rambo to get geared up, to get kitted up to like fight back, he fucking plays some like action music to do it. He's playing more of that music as he's going, depending on the situation, which could lead towards Daniel's theory of it all being a perfect setup, because hey, he's got the great songs for it. But just, I'm sorry, when he played that outro music, like, I fucking did it! Yeah! And oh my god, it's so good. But then all the things after they're done killing her kind of show back up with him, like, hey, you're daddy now. We with you. Like, so the implication to me is, like, well, he can't leave now. He is a part of that house. But we don't know, because when did she did the ritual and then killed herself, and that's why she was there? Or...
It's a little confusing. I think at some point she did a ritual, but I guess she did it and then she hung herself.
Right, because obviously if she did the ritual and she's dead, no one cares if you chop your finger off if you're already dead.
Would you say it's a little confusing, almost because you're missing a chunk of lore that had the chat made him do something else he would have discovered?
What do you think?
Well, I don't know.
We also
I completely blacked out on this last bit of movie.
Of lore.
We also, as the audience, could have just completely skipped over something they said. Like I said, I didn't write down all the ghost history.
That's true too.
No, there wasn't anything in the ghost history that would have explained that.
I fucking tunneled in on
you tunnel visioned this.
I tunnel snaked it.
I tunnel snaked it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So they all these ghosts approach him, and then his feed goes. They say "mommy." And then Mildred Rat is at the door. and then his feed cuts out. Okay, my first viewing this, I'm like, oh, okay, the ghost got him. My second viewing, I'm like, wait. Then I caught on that the boy says mommy, and I'm like, oh, okay, we've imprinted on Sean.
Yes, that was
and
my
now,
always.
Okay, that was your always. And I'm like, no, Sean's not dead. The feed just cut out. He's very much alive.
Also, Kenny's feed just cut out for me.
It did for me a little bit. But that's okay, because we're going to get a sequel to this movie. And what's the sequel to the movie going to be called, Daniel?
Deadstreams.
Shaun
of the Dead.
Of the Dead. Come on.
Shaun of the Deadstream.
Shaun of the Deadstream. Come on. I got some alternative titles for this movie.
Okay, hit us.
Okay, it's Home Improvement Night.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. There used to be a Baywatch Night, and they did like dark little creepy goth kind of stuff. It didn't last long. Fear and Stupidity in Utah.
Was this in Utah?
Doesn't matter.
This was filmed in Utah.
Ooh.
Also, and I wrote this down before I ever talked to you, Daniel. It's What's Wrong with YouTube? Yeah. This was filmed in Utah.
Chattergeist.
Chattergeist. Ooh, I like that. Chattergeist.
So little fun fact that we all apparently missed was written on the top of the spirit board he used was
no, I didn't miss it. I just forgot to bring it up.
Okay,
you want to do Easter eggs in this movie now?
Go for it.
Okay, let's see if I can catch the ones that I saw. I think it's downstairs on the wall. It says "Don't blink." Someone wrote "Don't blink," which could be a Doctor Who.
Could be a Doctor Who reference. Yes, the Weeping Angels.
In the safe room. It's either above the closet door or on the wall. Someone has written Bruce, and I'm thinking Bruce Campbell. Yep. And what you're about to talk about on the spirit board, I wrote it down, but now I can't find it. It's the Latin phrase that you'd find that Ash is supposed to say
Clatu,
with the Necronomicon.
Brata,
Nicto. Yeah, it says it on the spirit board.
Yeah.
I saw it. I saw those. I didn't miss it. I want you to know.
He wants me to know. Also,
I want you to know.
Apparently.
Now tell me what I did miss.
Apparently, Chrissy has a button on her jacket that says "Dead Inside."
Is a reference to the fact that she's a ghost.
She's a ghost. Always has been.
Actually, it's a Walking Dead reference.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. You should write Spark Notes.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Any other cool things
There was a goof
or things that we missed?
where apparently
Ooh.
Sean states that the house has been unoccupied and boarded up since the 50s, yet the doorknobs and several of the furnishings, especially the bathroom toilet, are clearly from the modern age and not from 70 years ago.
Cool.
Speaking
I
of
didn't catch
fun
that.
gaffes like that, someone pointed out, God, I forget what it was fucking in, but someone got taken out of the realism of a movie because they seen some Legos in it, and those particular type of Lego pieces did not exist yet, and it fucking it's like it took me out of the movie, and I feel sorry for people like that.
Well, I got taken out of Shark Side of the Moon because of their lack of physics knowledge based on playing Kerbal. So I'm not gonna throw any shade that way.
No, sorry, you're not nitpicking a fucking Lego piece. I'm not knocking Lego people, but that but's not to say, but I'm knocking Lego people. No, I'm saying when your thing is so fucking niche, like so, like, you know what? I can tell that type of paint. They didn't have that kind of paint back then. That's fucking. I'm out. Fucking, they ruined it.
Hey, Kenny.
Shoot.
You like this movie?
I love this movie.
If other people like, so what's your recommendations?
Well,
to
look,
follow
we
this?
talked about, like, you kind of spoiled that bit a little bit right in the beginning when you were talking about all the influences. So obviously, like, check out the Evil Dead franchise, any part of it. Original trilogy, remake, TV show. Come watch Rise of the Evil Dead when that comes out, because that looks baller. Or wait, that looks great. If you've seen the trailer, you'll understand that.
I've seen the
sticking
trailer and I don't understand that.
because there's a cheese grater that gets slapped onto the.
Shut up.
Shut up! You shut up right now. I want to point attention back to Shudder, the streaming platform that I use for a lot of horror stuff because they got a lot of great original stuff. Like I said, this completes my Shudder trilogy of these kind of like online like horror type things. So we've got Host, which is a group of friends, mostly female, one male, who get together on a Zoom chat. This was during like peak COVID stuff.
You could almost call it COVID horror too.
Yeah, COVID horror. So
yeah.
So they're meeting up on a Zoom chat. They're doing a seance ritual for some reason, and they bring on a lady to lead their seance, and spooky shit start happening. And the way they have to get creative and use the technology to tell the story is absolutely fucking fantastic. And then possibly even more on the nose is the cleansing hour, where this guy does exorcisms for a YouTube channel type thing. Encounters a real actual possessed person, and it goes haywire, and because it's being broadcast out live and stuff, the demon or whatever is able to get its message out on a broad scale, and so the viewers are important there as well. And
very hot dude.
Yeah, dude, that dude is fit. And so I love I love having my little like Shudder trilogy of that. If you want to stay on Shudder, but lean more into the campiness and more of the like more lighthearted fun and not creepy, then check out The Detectives. That's another one where again it's a paranormal group on TV. They run all these set up episodes of like, oh, your bakery's haunted and stuff like that.
Oh no.
And then they get dragged into a real haunting down in Mexico, and they have to deal with that, and shenanigans happens, and that's pretty funny. It's light on the scares and the gore and stuff, but it's a lot of good fun.
Is there anything you can think of with fake ghosts?
Oh, like where the whole thing is clearly set up?
Or it's revealed that it's a setup.
Like in the end, it turns out the whole thing is totally
fake?
Like
at the end, there's a Scooby-Doo reveal.
Well, Scooby-Doo. I feel like there is, but it's not coming to me. I was going to say Brothers Grimm at first, but that turns into be real shit. There's more often the ones where everything starts out fake, and then we get into an actual shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, that was like the Hell House movies. Those were like, oh, we're setting up these haunted houses, and then shit actually happened. Or Grave Encounters. They might have believed in ghosts, and they went in there and they just kind of got over their heads. Let's see. Shit to be revealed, the whole thing was fake. I mean, you could argue the whole Blair Witch theory of where they lured her out into the woods to kill her, but that's not proven.
Oh, that's bullshit.
You don't like that?
Ryan doesn't like that.
The theory is the evidence they use for that theory doesn't work.
I wouldn't know. I don't look too much into it. I'm not a big.
I think the theory itself is cool.
If there had been more pieces in Blair Witch to get there, what
they need,
wonderful.
What they needed was me to put that together.
Just put it together for them a little better.
Just a few more things in there. But the theory, yeah, that
I don't know. Do you
cut that.
cut. Do you have any examples that fit that?
Nope.
I don't. I can't think of any.
I'll find something. I'm sure there's something I've watched where it's like, no, we were fucking with you, and they walk away with the fucking, they walk away with their prize for doing so.
Literally just Scooby Doo.
House on
only Scooby-Doo.
House on Haunted Hill.
What?
There were ghosts in
There
House
were
on
ghosts
Haunted
on
Hill.
Haunted Hill.
Yeah,
Your finger points, but
no, that was one of those things where it ended up being ghosts, but it was also being set up as fake ghosts because Vincent Price's character was trying to.
Oh, you're
that one.
Okay.
What was I? I was thinking of. What was I thinking?
Haunting on Hill
okay,
House.
Okay. I was thinking Haunted Hill.
Yeah,
House
that's what I
on
was
Haunted
thinking.
Hill. Vincent Price.
He said he has that elaborate marionette skeleton
That's
thing
true.
to scare his wife, but
that one I think fits it because I don't think there were actually any ghosts in the Vincent Price one. In the Jeffrey Rush one, there were ghosts.
Really?
What about?
Yeah, because they help open.
I don't
the
think
door.
I've seen the Jeffrey Rush.
Were there ghosts
The windows.
in the Shirley Jackson Haunting a Hill House?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Were there?
Yeah.
Or was it just her having a mental break the entire time?
we need.
I
Okay, we
don't
can
know.
watch it. Discuss.
Well,
you have to
watching
read it.
and reading.
Yeah, you have to read it.
Look, I'm
Oh,
I'm gonna put this out there for
I'm gonna do Daniel. Oh,
for horror
this
book
guy.
people.
I didn't go to college.
I did not love Shirley Jackson's Haunting a Hill House. When it ended, I thought I did the audiobook of it. When it ended, I thought I got a bad copy because that's how bad and abrupt the ending was to me. So I went looking to see where's the rest
Hey,
of the
me,
book?
when I'm done with something, I'm fucking done with it.
Because it had fantastic setup. That's one book where the ending to me ruined the rest of the book because I was liking the build up. I thought we are gonna get some great shit, and then that happens, and I'm like, wait, what? No, I respect what it did, but I also think when Richard Matheson came around and was like, here's my take on it, and did Hell House, blew it out of the fucking water for me. Hell House is fucking 10 levels above Hill House.
We could do Hell House. We could do I Am Legend. We could do.
You gotta do a Matheson series.
Daniel, what recommendations would you have?
I stayed all on Shudder, by the way.
How much does a PS4 with PT on it cost?
Well, how much you willing to pay me? I've got it on the PS3 and PS4.
How do you have it on the PS3?
Because it was originally PS3, and then when I transferred over to my PS4, it worked on the PS4. It does not work on the PS5.
PS3?
Dude, check it. I'm pretty sure.
No.
Or did
'Cause
it
you
transfer
need the-
from the PS4 to the...
You need the microphone.
PS4, because I think I was introduced to this at Sean's house, and this was years after PS4 had been.
No, you're right.
Ouch.
PS4. So it transferred from the regular PS4 to the PS4 Pro, so it was on both of them. Because I knew I transferred it over, and it's like, holy crap, it transferred. But it did not transfer to the PS5.
Actually, I guess,
So
yeah.
PT.
Maybe
anything
a
else?
Silent Hill or two? I don't know.
Like, for watching, for playing purposes, go do any ghost hunting game. There's a bunch now. But Phasmo. We love Phasmo. Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
I still want to play that other one. I don't remember what it was.
The Egypt one?
The
There's
the
one
Egypt
where you're going into Egyptian pyramids and trying to get loot, but then Moon Knight's there and he's like, "Yo, don't do that."
I do love Moon Knight, so I don't think I know that one.
Yeah.
But is that a thing?
Yeah,
Does it look good?
That's a thing.
Why didn't you told me that?
Phasmo.
They're all
Except
just
I think
Phasmo.
you're actually like competing with each other somewhat to carry the most loot out or something. I didn't watch that much of it, so I can't help you.
What do you think about Black Tapes?
The podcast?
Yeah.
That's good.
Would that be a good recommendation
That'd
for
be
that?
a-
It's good up to a point, but would that be like if you like this one? Would you think that one because it's following a NPR style?
That's
reporter.
almost more paranormal activity.
More paranormal activity. Okay. Have you guys? Did any of you ever see the BBC's Ghost Watch?
Ghost Watch is good.
Yeah,
I like Ghost
I
Watch.
think that fits in real well.
The WNUK Halloween. Also, fuck you, Ryan. We cut your ass off.
I feel like we always have to give an X-Files episode recommend. So I would say the Cops
Okay.
episode of that.
Yeah.
That's the other one. Ghost Exorcism. INC.
That's Inc. Incorporated.
INC.
Zinc.
Go ahead, Ryan.
There is a old radio play that you can find. So it's like suspense ghost hunt, and the setup for this is this this radio host, quirky guy. He's going to spend the night and record himself at a haunted house, and what we hear is his audio recordings of what happened. So this is a found audio radio play.
I like that.
From like way from back in the day, and it's quite good.
No, I like the idea of that.
Call that Suspense Ghost Hunt. The other one, if you want to do a role-playing game, Call of Cthulhu has a scenario called Viral, where it's a bunch of internet ghost hunters who go to, I think it's an island in Italy, and they're going to spend the night doing their little investigations. And part of it is they have a live feed going, and their fans tell them, go do this thing to get more money. Oh, what you got, Kenny?
So, Daniel, you wanted a movie that the whole thing going on, and it turns out in the end it's all fake, like completely fake. Ghost Team, 2016, underrated gem. Never got a Blu-ray release, got a DVD release. John Heder of Napoleon Dynamite fame.
Oh, that was fake, yeah.
Yeah, him and his little buddy, David Krumholtz, people know him too. And guess who else is in that movie? Pod favorite, Justin Long, kills it in that movie. They're obsessed with paranormal things, and he works at where he owns a print shop, something like that. And he stumbles onto a barn that he finds out is potentially haunted and wants to go check it out. And this is spoilers for people who haven't seen the movie, because obviously we've just established that in the end there's no ghosts, but there is something going on. I'll say that. There we go. At least some mystery. But yeah, there's your thing. But it's also not intentional. The cast of the movie thinks it's ghosts the whole time. I knew I had.
It's also not horror.
Is Shaun of the Dead horror?
Yes.
What's the difference between Ghost Team and
There's
Shaun of the
horror in Shaun of the Dead.
What's your definition of horror?
Oh shit! You know what? It's the same as my definition of porn. I can't describe it, but I know it when I see it.
You could say that. I say people are too strict with the term horror, and it's a very, very broad genre that overlaps with a lot of other genres. And I would say Ghost Team is just a lighter horror comedy. For some people that don't watch a lot of horror, they're probably in pretty tense situations there where they're like, oh my god.
Well, then maybe it's a suspense film.
It's listed specifically as comedy thriller, but I think thrillers are
thrillers
horror.
Are horror. Yeah. All right, I'll give it to you. I actually also don't really remember anything about that movie.
It was good. I liked it. It was fucking stupid.
Make another check number next to the times Daniel talks about a movie he hasn't seen.
We should.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Kenny. Yeah, dear.
Come get me.
I didn't see.
Oh god damn. No, go back to come on.
Come get
it's
me.
There.
Come get me.
Come get me. It's in the Sean movie we just watched or we just talked about.
He says, "Come get me."
They're having he's calling out to Mildred. This is where he's in his Rambo mode. He says, "Come get me," and then she says,
"What did she say? I didn't write that one down, you dick."
Oh, it was so fun.
What did she say? Fucking tell me.
He's all like, "Come," or she says, "Hey, Sean, come get me," and then he says, "Nah, you come get me." Pause, and then she says, "You come get me."
Oh yeah. No, you.
No, you do it. You come get me.
Look.
So I recommend watching Mythica.
You're recommending that to Ryan so he can go.
No, anybody. If you like just like generic fantasy, but not like offensively bad generic fantasy, but like just like okay, generic fantasy that they really don't make that much of.
I mean, they have this day and age. They still feel like they're made during like the like Xena and Hercules era, which I like Xena and Hercules.
This seems like yeah.
They feel
perfectly
dated.
Acceptable.
No, they're fine. They're fun.
Although I feel like the D&D movie is about to raise that bar.
Dude, I think it's going to be fun. Yeah, great cast.
Unlike this podcast.
Well, okay, look, the movie was an hour and like 27 minutes long. We're up to almost 3 hours of recording for this episode, but it had a lot to talk about. It's such a good movie. If we had to rank everything we watched this year, like where do you guys put this?
Like this new year?
Or let's say this, and the set of things we've done for the pod.
This fiscal year?
Our pod year.
Season 1.
Our pod
season
year.
1? Well, I think season 1 ended already.
I think season 1, when we breaking up seasons, because our first official recording was November.
Okay.
This one's
pretty high up there.
Like, it's something I'd watch again.
I'd watch it again.
Enjoyable.
In fact, I wanted to. I was going to, but we recorded today instead of tomorrow.
Yeah, Ryan, did you have any other recommendations to watch? You just had some play or some audio stuff, and Daniel did some games. Or any books?
No, I'm good.
Go do Hell. Mm-hmm. You can read Hell House just because it's a good book.
Crabs.
Read Crabs. Now come check back in with us in another 2 weeks where we've got another great episode in store for you. We're talking about the 2022 surprise entry into the Predator franchise, Prey, which you can check out on Hulu. And apparently, according to Ryan, who edited this next episode, I drop quite a few F-bombs in this next one, like more than maybe's humanly possible. So that should be fun to hear. And as always, come like, subscribe, tell your friends about us, tell your moms about us, tell everyone about us, get the word out, because that's the only way we can grow and infect more people to be just like you, our loyal listeners, who are clearly the best people out there. And don't you want more people like you? Wouldn't the world run a little better with more people like you? Okay, I think we've successfully doubled the runtime of the movie on this recording. We'll see how much we get that edited down, but let's try to keep our viewers and cut this off. As always, I've been your horrible, not possessed, haven't ever accidentally killed a homeless person host, Kenny.
I've been your toxic chatter, Daniel.
I've been just read the poetry, Ryan. Chrissy, the ghost, if you're listening, I want to read your poetry.
He's been Chrissy, the ghost simp, Ryan. And we'll see you next time.